I want
to start out by giving all praise, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash.
Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to all the Akim out there preaching the word of sincerity and in truth. The brothers from Great Millstone, Atlanta. We out here prophesying, of course, the downfall of America. There's been a lot of hot things heating up in the news. More situations speaking about tariffs, more exposés on Donald Trump. YouTube. The big thing about YouTube actually speaking about banning conspiracy theorists, basically notions regarding the truth. Okay. Because basically they're being bombarded on YouTube by conspiracy. Whether it's alternative media, like these Alex Jones individuals, what is that, AMC TV, I think, and various other alternative sites. They're basically
Chris Green. Chris Green, AMTV.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They just exposing America, man. Even the Turks, RT, mm-hmm. These alternative medias, when they close in and magnify aspects of what's going on in America, they speak about nothing but devastation. I was on a priest brother that's on the camera's page the other day, and they were speaking about how basically America's financial stability is equal to Greece, mm-hmm. Italy, Japan, and Spain, man. Mm-hmm. And that speaks a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That speaks volumes. And they said basically the reason why America's not toppling like other countries quick in a hurry is due to the fact that it's way larger. All right, it's way larger, and basically it's finding different ways to filibuster and slither around, whether through raising interest rates to the mm-hmm. general people.
America has more assets, so to speak.
Assets.
It has more investments in other places.
That's right.
If I may say that, added with your point, it's like a rich white person with 30 credit cards in their pocket. Mm-hmm. They're going to last a whole lot longer than one person with a debit card because they can just use this credit card to pay that off. Use that to pay that off. And that's all America's doing, but it gets to a point.
Well, that's a lot. That's exactly what the report said in the video. Mm-hmm. They're using other to pay that.
Yeah, because you remember a few years ago the Moody report, mm-hmm. They dropped down America's credit score. Remember they were like a AAA. Mm-hmm. So remember that? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So all these different things are echoes, mm-hmm. and they're all shadowing the fall of America, man. And that's the reason why YouTube is starting to push the spirit out of conspiracy now. All right. If you are speaking against America, you're speaking about 9/11 and various other situations mm-hmm. that occurred in America, then you're basically a conspiracy theorist, and your content will be banned and removed. But we can read that.
Okay, this is James chapter 5, verse 1. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you.
Right. Who are the rich men of this realm? All right, the international bankers, the ones that own the enterprises, the major conglomerate leaders. All right, the ones that own the diamond district, the gold, these hard and soft assets, real estate. All right, property. They own the federal financial monetary system that's actually in place right now. All right, and they're nothing but what? Freemasons. That's why they go by the name the Illuministic ones, and they're all about left-hand witchcraft, man. And that's how they prospered. That's how they became rich. When you deal with Mayim M. Shell Bauer, the Bauer family, that name changed to the Rothschilds, they became the supreme family, the supreme dynasty off of high interest rates, man. Mm-hmm. Funding wars, deception, theft, robbery. And that stealing kept accumulating, and they kept gaining more and more property and taking down more and more nations till Job 9:24 came into full fruition, man. The earth is giving it to the hand of the wicked. See? Read that open, matter of fact.
This is James chapter 5, verse 1. Go to now, ye rich man, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you.
And back then, the rich man at that time, was generally was prophesying about, was the Romans, man. Who was the ones that actually had the prosperity of the nations and had all people underfoot? The Roman institution. The Julius Caesars. When you look up Augustus Caesar's net worth,
oh
man, he was a multi-billionaire, man. You read about when you go into Emperor Nero, he burned down a third of Rome, if I'm not mistaken, a large portion of Rome, blamed the Christians, got them crucified, and he rebuilt a major villa in that place of where it was actually burned up.
He gentrified it.
Gentrified it. They were known to have a lot of slaves. All right, and they would have choice spices. When you watch these different movies and documentaries of Rome, Rome's expansion was tremendous, man. That's why they had the luxury to just kill slaves, man. You got to think, if you have a slave, that's your property.
That's right.
All right, slaves have a level of worth to them. But the Romans would throw them into those gladiatorial rings, not giving a hell if they die or not, man. You know, as well as killing animals and things of that nature. So, who James is speaking about is the Roman leaders, so to speak, and all rich men. Because the thing is, with these rich men rub shoulders with the rich. You see, like if you're poor, in most cases, you're gonna hang with poor people. The scripture says that in Sirach. How can basically the two dwell together, basically the rich and the poor. You know, one of a higher vessel and one of a lesser vessel tells you that in Sirach. So these rich men, they get together and do what? They find out different ways to plot against the poor. That's why our brother got Psalms 83, which is what? Conspiracy. Continue.
Your riches are corrupted and your garments are moth-eaten.
Oh, that's a conspiracy. See, we go into basically the Federal Reserve notes, basically how it's backed by nothing, how it's basically waste material, so to speak.
Right.
It was created, and it actually is a talisman of witchcraft, man.
Yep.
You know, that's why you could just print out immense amount of this money, and then you know we have the Federal Reserve District in Atlanta, where you could go there and you could see all kind of shredded U.S. dollars.
They give it to you as a souvenir.
They give it to you as a souvenir.
It might be it might be $10,000 in that bag.
And they just throwing it away because this money isn't worth anything. And it was going on what? Back in Rome. Because the Roman denarius, that was the monetary standard at that time, it was strong when Rome first got in power, but down the line it kept destabilizing. They started to mix it with other materials because the expansion got too far and they had to have enough supply to give to everyone, so they just devalued the money system.
Yeah, if I may, you know, you speaking of conspiracy, well, was it a conspiracy of the J.P. Morgan, which was nothing but a pawn man for the Rothschilds anyway? The Rockefellers, that's history. When they decided to come down to Tybee Island, what is that, 1913, and create and start the wheel on which really going back to like 1906 with the Knickerbockers, they basically destroyed the whole district. Moving forward to lead to what we know now as the Federal Reserve, which led to centralized banking. Because we wouldn't have got the Federal Reserve in Atlanta if it wasn't for that conspiracy of them going down to Tybee Island in 1913. Hey, shalom, brother. To do what? And they use fake names. Why you got to use your fake names? Why you got to use allies, aliases? In a time where there was no internet.
They didn't want to get Charles back to them. And they knew that they was doing something that was to be regarded by the general public as wicked, man. If you could take
There's more to it.
Verse 3, your gold and your silver is cankered.
Your gold and your silver is cankered, meaning corrupt. All right, and how can gold and silver be cankered? If it's mixed with different materials and it's sold at a base rate, at that which is not compliant to the measurements of it. If you have a pound of gold, then that person that's purchasing that pound of gold is expecting a pound of gold. Nothing mixed or intermingled in. But the so-called white man will give you material. He'll make you bust your ass working a 9 to 5 for money that doesn't even equate to your slave labor, man.
That's right.
But you got something? You can bring it up.
This is Isaiah 14. I started 10. Verse 10. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become light unto us? Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vows, the worms spread under thee, and the worms covered thee.
And that's economics. See, that first started with the Babylonian kingdom. All right, that's Nebuchadnezzar in all of his glory. You know, when you read about Nebuchadnezzar and you go into the kingdom of Babylon, that was a bad kingdom, man. You know, they had a large expansion. I think Babylonia was the capital. And they basically had the Israelites and all other nations underfoot. But guess what? That reign, it had its waxing, and it had its apex, and then it had its decline, man.
It's the head of gold.
Yep, it was the head of gold. And when it fell viciously. You read about Nebuchadnezzar, even the king at that time, he grew talons and feathers, man. he damn near looked like a caveman in his time, and he's a king, you know.
Turned into a raptor.
Yeah, turned into damn near a raptor, and that was a foreshadowing of the kingdom that would fall.
Yeah.
And just like it said, that pomp shall you know, be brought to naught. Which that pomp was the pride. Nebuchadnezzar and the basically had all people worship him during the time of Daniel. So that was a high level of pride. He didn't regard the Most High as the Most High, but the Most High dropped him and put him low. Keep going.
Continue on, verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations?
And that Lucifer at the time was Nebuchadnezzar, but the modern Luciferians are the Illuminati, the Illuministic ones. This has nothing to do with Satan, all right, being in the heavens, and him and the Heavenly Father have a conflict. Basically, him being a bad child, and he gets thrown out the heavens. Like the Lord jeffed him out the heavens, and he falls down here with the angels, and then they start setting up shop down here. That's mythology, man. No, now they down here. Now you see some bad chicks. Now they want to have sex with the women, man. That's madness.
The Royal Rumble, and he threw him off the side of the ring, man. Like,
Lucifer's over the ring.
oh my God.
Extreme madness, man. Keep going.
For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven.
Yep.
I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High.
Yeah, and like I said, before that was Nebuchadnezzar, but Nebuchadnezzar's kingdom has nothing on modern day Babylon, the virgin daughter. This so-called white man set up all these different space stations. He's into transhumanism. He really wants to be the Most High. You have these different movies and TV shows that's based around chip omnipotence. How that microchip and this biometric technology, all these different scanners and everything that you're using through technology is recording you and keeping your data hidden in the vault. You know, in these different mega bases. So this so-called white man wants to be God. That's why when you look on the back of the dollar bill, you see the pyramid with the all-seeing eye, and then you see the illuministic aura that's hovering around it.
That's right.
What does that represent? That represents them actually seeing all and being all and everywhere. Omnipotent. The word omnipotent means basically to be everywhere at once. No kingdom had that type of technology up until this point, man.
The surveillance that's here.
The surveillance.
This devil knows when you leave your house and every street corner that you ever hit, because there's cameras on every corner. And all you got to do is scan your license plate to know that that's you.
Yeah,
Through his numbers. Think about it. No kingdom ever was able to track you by your social security and IP address and longitude and latitude to the extent that this devil does, man.
Yeah.
Your phone, wherever your phone is, that's where you are.
Wherever your phone is, that's where you at.
They can triangulate the location.
Yeah, and it's coming to the point where criminals are getting squeezed out of the society, man. There's no such thing. It's coming to the point, you know, where you know, fraudulent activity, you know, all these different illegal things, stealing credit card numbers, all these things are scamming. Those things are becoming things of the past, man. So-called white man is making it where I'm the only scammer on the face of earth.
That's right.
If anybody doing the dirt, I'm doing the dirt.
That's how greedy this motherfucker
That's how
is.
greedy he
You
is,
goddamn
man.
panda.
And it's like,
Credit cards
to be
and
honest, you got Jake that be scamming Esau. Really, Jake getting that money back, man.
Thank you.
You know, you don't got millions. If we could really see how much money got stole from us, how much money we labor for on a daily,
How much you've earned,
how much
value.
you earned. If you work and made $100 a day, you probably don't rack up 10,000 for them devils, man.
For the day.
For the
For
day.
the day, yeah.
You know, but they never tell you the numbers. They always tell you what more you have to do,
Oh, like 100,000 a week.
how you can improve, what you're
Individually.
not doing.
Right.
May I bring this out
Yeah,
for
you
you,
can.
please? This is Habakkuk. This is Habakkuk 2, and I'm gonna start at 5 since you made that point. Habakkuk 2 and 5, it says, "Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man."
And that wine has, and that
Hey, marrying and giving them marriage.
that's the wine.
That's that marriage.
That wine has people heavily intoxicated to the point they do not want to wake up. They don't want to get sober.
That's old too. Tying cans to the back of, you know, when you married.
Wow. I'm sorry,
Days of
man.
Noah.
I never seen that shit until now.
I never seen that
Right,
shit.
I
I
never
only seen that shit in movies,
Yeah, I seen it
man.
in movies, man. That's it. That's what that is, though.
Wow, this is a movie. We in a movie. We're in the movie.
We're in a movie, man.
National
Shit.
Lampoons.
Oh man, I'm gonna continue. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell.
Need to keep it at home. If they're talking about the Arabs don't have bases all over the world, man. The Arabs don't have an image that they have pushed upon the masses of the people. Now, of course, they have Muhammad. You know, they have the Nation of Islam and things of that nature. But really, that was Jake that set that whole thing up.
Right.
And that influence is not as heavily strong, so to speak, as the so-called white man's influence. Because not only does he control religion, he controls corporations. He controls the money system. He controls everything you do. He controls slaves. It tells you in Revelation 18, the souls of men. And as well as the military. When you deal with the so-called white man, his hand is everywhere. That's why you have, what is that? AmeriCom. You have AFRICOM.
I think Eurocom is the other one.
Eurocom. I think it's another one in Asia. You know, where they set those U.S. bases up, and they're not over there just hovering for no reason. They're raping the women, they're killing the men, and they're stealing the resources. Just like when you go into the war of Afghanistan and all these different things, what was they over there for? For the goodies, man.
Yep.
The poppy,
The opium,
the poppy,
the lithium, because like what they put in batteries is lithium. That's why now you can have smartphones. You couldn't do that 20 years ago because they didn't have the access to the resources. You can now because they all in Afghanistan. Man, they everywhere. Taking all the resources.
See, we be thinking, we don't even know resources like this devil, man.
Nah,
We don't, like, think about it. We don't even know the extent to invade a fucking country for lithium. You telling Jay, hey, I know a plug on tons of lithium. He gonna look at you like, I don't want that shit. That's crazy.
It's crazy, man. But it's the devil. It's on that.
Yep. Reading on,
Yeah, lithium ion.
and it says, and cannot be satisfied.
And cannot be satisfied. So even though he stole the whole world, he wants more out of you. That's why you had that interview years ago. It might have been decades ago. At this point.
About a decade now.
Yeah, with individual, I can't think of his name.
Aaron Russo
and Nick Rockefeller.
Nick Rockefeller.
And they was exchanging, and he was basically speaking about the wealth and basically the control. And Aaron Russo said, "What does all this lead up to? You know, you basically have the world in the palm of your hand. You basically control everything, anything that you touch. What do you want?" And Nick Rockefeller, he came and spoke about bringing out the microchip and chipping individuals, man. You know, and after that, Aaron Russo died.
Yep.
He got killed. Oh, but wait, that's a conspiracy.
Conspiracy, yeah.
I think he died like a year or two later. 2 years later, I think.
What a coincidence.
And heapeth, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heap unto him all people.
The melting pot. This is the melting pot. If brothers went to the land of Saudi Arabia, you ain't gonna see niggas and all kind of people just swarming
Puerto
around.
Ricans
and Puerto Ricans, Italians. Now you might see a couple people here and there.
Polish.
But America is the melting pot. One street or one neighborhood, it might be East Indians. The next neighborhood right over, it might be whites and Japanese, Chinese, blacks. It just switches each and every area you go to, man.
Zip codes.
And zip codes, yeah.
Over the train tracks, you got one demographic. Across the train tracks, you got a whole nother demographic.
Yeah, you got Chinatown.
Little
you might
Haiti.
have a Chinese store right by as an East Indian store, man.
Little Havana.
Little Havana.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a neighborhood off of North Druid Hills. It's number Amalek over there.
Good point.
The whole neighborhood.
Yeah, that's Jew City right there.
But then you can keep going. You're gonna hit this area because it's that way. You keep hitting this area, you're gonna hit Jake.
It's all
They
Jake.
didn't know you in a
It's all
fucking
Jake.
slum.
But if you go past where these Jews stay at, keep going straight down La Vista, you're gonna run into straight Issachar, Dorville,
Yep. Buford Highway.
Yep.
It's
The melting pot.
It's crazy.
No other country has diversity as much as America. And when you look up that word diversity, it means wickedness, man. It goes into perversity. To mix so many people together, that's how wickedness springs together, man.
Yeah.
Because everybody has different ideology. Everybody has their own perception. Like if we interview or grab one person on the side and ask them what are their thoughts of America, everybody's gonna have a whole nother outlook, man.
Shit, like you think about the laws, like dietary laws. You might ask one person, "No, pork's the best thing on the planet Earth." Then the next person be like, "No, in our communities we're not supposed to have pork."
Some more on that?
Yep, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna skip down if you don't mind to verse to the point of no, it's no skipping. Verse 6. Shall not all these take up a parable against him and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his.
Yeah, destruction unto him that increaseth that which is not his. What's not the so-called white man's? Everything that he possesses.
Everything.
If the so-called white, the only thing that he had right to possess was shit, really nothing. When you
He had
Mount the first thing he had was Mount Seir, but he stole that from what? The Horites.
well, the Most High gave him to him. He gave Mount Seir to Esau. That's it.
But yeah, at the end of the day, the caves. He was
That's
a
it.
natural born
That's it.
cave dweller.
Got them insects and
The land of Edom.
shrubbery.
How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay.
And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. When you go into that word clay, if I'm not mistaken, the Hebrew word is batyet, which means a debt. You go into the U.S. debt clock. Them numbers are still running up, man. What is it, 21 trillion?
It's got to be more than that.
Well, it's 22 plus.
Yeah.
22 plus trillion. And then when you go into debt per citizen, each and every citizen, I think of like $60,000 in debt or something. To that.
Yeah. It was like 50,000. It went up to like almost like 70,000.
Yeah, you can't climb out of that debt because they're using you as collateral. If they're in debt, that means that you're in debt. That's why you could bust your ass and you could, basically jump through hoops and hurdles on your job, and it takes them forever to give you a raise. And by the time they give you a raise, everything else don't went up. So it's not that you're making more. It's that everything around you has been being, the prices have shifted, man.
Quantitative easing.
U.S. national debt clock.
Okay.
Right now, it says it's at 29 trillion.
God,
Shit.
29.
29 trillion, 505
You
million.
sure 29?
Yeah,
Look at total.
29.
But you know what's crazy, if I may say, before Obama came into the office, it wasn't even at 10. I only think it was in double digits during Obama.
It's 29. It's finna hit 30. 29 trillion, 505 billion, man.
That's what they say.
And that's what they say.
But really, the total debt is really like 200 trillion.
Right.
You know, it's because of all these derivatives. Because what derivatives are is just basically somebody taking a debt. Like, think about it. If you, let's just say you got a credit company that owns credit, and they have 100,000 people with debt. I can have that company to sell it to you. I can sell you that debt, and you can look at that as a money maker. So then it gets sold, and then you have
China did.
Because if you notice, if you got student loans, your student loans, you get a new company. All it is it's continuously being sold over and over and over and over again. That is just adding interest. So that number even there is really, it's really in the 200s.
Yeah, and it's the U.S. personal debt, the debt that the U.S. holds by itself. That's what's 22 trillion. That's why I had to make sure I went there.
Where
and
did
get
that
it.
come from? They had to get a loan.
But that's the
from
number
somebody.
they give you in the news. They'll never give you the total debt of 29 trillion, according to the clock. They're gonna give you just the personal debt that Esau has here in America, which is 22 trillion.
Yeah.
You know, so you gotta look these.
Hey, and that's horrible, man. That shows you the state of the
I've been
society we
looking up
living in
still.
is low.
Debt period.
Yeah, we're in a debt-based society, and that debt is not for you to come out of. So when you see these, like they just had in the news recently that Jay-Z, the first billionaire artist,
Yeah, rap
man,
artist.
that nigga got debt, man. You know, all these
Probably $2 billion in debt.
Yeah, he probably $2 billion. He got $1 billion and he's $2 billion in debt. You know, and these jakes think that they have opportunities in the society because they see these rappers riding around with Maseratis and $100,000 cars, and this is a place where you could actually gain. You can't get up in this society, man. This place has a continual foot on our neck.
Shit.
And even when you deal with economics, I remember going into this, which I gotta find the article. I'm trying to hunt and find it, but I was reading about it. I think it was speaking about, I think it was the 1900s, might have been, but they were speaking about how America was losing its grip on its economics, and they decided to start setting up celebrities. They needed beacons to show and represent, all right, it's money out here. So they set up a couple of, jigaboos and put some millions in their pocket and put them on the limelight and see them doing all this fabulous thing, living here, traveling there.
The rich and the fabulous.
The rich and like them that show the rich and famous.
Yeah, that's how the rich and famous.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
Lifestyle,
that,
Little Rich and Famous. They would show that
VH1.
to project
Robin
the
Leach.
image, making people believe that they would have the opportunity to get there. When basically it's a damn near emphatically impossible, man.
Yo, look at who was that? Dwayne Martin and Tisha Campbell. Remember they had put an article out. I think they went from having like 20 million or like $50 million to themselves, and now they got $200 in their bank account.
Yeah. But it's all like you got to understand the numbers and what they actually telling you, what they saying. You know, because they got assets, but they either can't access it because they all got accountants. Like it's a whole thing. You know, so like their personal debt, they got nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you know what's worth money? Their names are worth money. So Esau owned. Okay.
Esau owned that name.
Yeah, he owned them. He owned them.
Yeah, they might put a nigga on the show just to pay off his debt.
Yeah.
That's how they do majority of individuals.
Yeah.
You got some on that.
Yeah, I'm telling you,
They
this is
got
Isaiah
blackish or
14,
some shit.
verse
They got
13.
strong roll.
For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High.
Yeah, and these devils have the throne, man. The throne represents the position of power. In the ancient world, you would actually have kings that would actually sit on the throne of nobility, you know, represent them being of a high class. They don't do that in these days, though, you know. You know, these representatives, with really these Rothschilds, they own the whole world. They don't need no one singular area station to sit down in, you know, because back then, what? If you was the king of Italy, that was the main realm that you would actually be stationary in, you know. Of course, kings will go to battle and things of that nature, but your established your established power would be in that one central location. America's is way different now. You know, we're under the spirit of democracy. They have multiple locations where their power lies. That's why they call them what the city states, where you have D.C., which that's the military aspect, and really the president of the United States. He's not the man. You have the man behind the man. He's just hired to cover a wing of basically the system. You see,
He represents the man.
he's representing the man, and you have multiple representatives. That's why, like I said, you have the military, and then you have the financial district over there in London, which really that's what elites go back to. The Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the different families, they all go back to Europe. You know, that's why when you deal with America, they said out of the, what is it? We had the 45th president, right? 45th and 46th? 45th. Because Obama, he was the 44th. But they said 42 presidents are linked to a king in Britain, man. All the presidents are related one way or another, showing you that this is still the same throne kingdom, the same dynasty, man.
That's why if I may,
same bloodline.
that's why anytime the queen of what is it? Queen Elizabeth, anything dealing with them comes up on the TV, it stops TV.
Yep.
And what do they call all the people that live over here? Commoners. Commoners to who? To the throne of Britain, because Britain owns America, as it tells us in Revelation. The seventh that came, the eighth that came out of the seven.
Yep.
The mother.
Yep.
The mother.
To perdition with the Revelation 13.
Come on.
I got a precept.
I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High.
I will be like the Most High. So he's going to control any and every facet of your life. When we think about the Most High, we know that the Lord is omnipotent. He's all. All right, scriptures speak about how his eyes are 10 times brighter than the sun. The so-called white man is looking to achieve that power on earth. Like I said, through this smart technology. You know, everybody has a Facebook, everybody has an Instagram, has some type of social media outlet that they get onto. So your profiles is being compromised, man. Your information is being harvested and it's being exchanged through these super elitists. You know, and Jake don't really see it as a big problem. As long as you can talk to the chick, you know, in the next city or whatnot, and you can actually text, you all good. But that's really taking all your rights away from you, man.
Yep.
That's taking your privacy. That's really taking your manhood. This system is trying to castrate you as an individual, and that's why when you look at it, even onto this day, everything is geared against you. Cause see, the so-called white man, he'll go into these different cell phones. He really goes into your spirit. If he goes into your your phone, he really goes into your
man.
spirit, man. That's why they just had this Black Mirror episode with Miley Cyrus. And the episode was basically they scanned her body and put her in a what they call
avatar?
like an avatar. And it was her spirit. She was actually talking to herself, and basically the avatar basically was they was on the same exact level, man. But the so-called white man, he takes this information out of these different phones, and he figures out how to use it against you. They study behavioral psychology so that you could pay more, so that you could go in debt. All right, how does the so-called black man spend his money?
Algorithms.
Let's leverage that.
Right,
Yeah, they study the algorithms. Let's put more chains on TV. Let's put more rappers in his face, man. Put more fat asses on the streets, and we gonna. But that's how Esau. That's how Esau plays you for a fool, man.
Flood the streets with
Yeah,
drug
flood the
money.
streets with wickedness, man. And images, because it's witchcraft, man. Let's put all these different images and make him capture all these photos in his psyche, and he's gonna be a product of his environment, man.
Hypnotize your
And I'm
ass.
gonna hypnotize him and keep him tranquilized by the wickedness that's amongst them. Keep going.
Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit.
Yeah, even for all these things, even this witchcraft is gonna fail him, man. It says he's gonna be brought down to hell. When you read about the story of the rich man and Lazarus, Lazarus was low, but the rich man was extremely high. It was polar opposites, night and day. But guess what? The tables turned, and that's a phenomenon that some would see as unbelievable, but it's gonna happen. You gotta think the blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, we're the lowest in the world, not just America. You got Haiti. That's one of the worst countries in the world, man.
Right.
But these same people that's in their lowest estate are gonna be raised on high. The plowman shall overtake the reaper. The ones that's working in 95, doing the construction work, they're gonna be the kings and the rulers of this society, man. Keep going.
They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble?
Yeah, and in the turn of things, the so-called white man, like you said, the princes and kings of whether France or Britain or Spain, the European crown.
Russia, Iran.
Yeah, Russia, Iran, because hey, when the scriptures speak about Yahweh Shah in Revelation 19, it said he's going to subdue many kingdoms, man. And those same men that's regarded as the nobility, even the Russians like Vladimir Putin, the Vladimirs and all these different royal lines, they're just gonna be common slaves, man.
The communists.
Yeah, they're gonna be the commoners, the peasants, the ones that's actually working and tilling,
The nobodies.
the nobodies.
The heathen.
Their names are gonna be erased from the face of the earth.
Give me a British accent.
You going?
That did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness, and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners.
And who accomplished all that? Who shook kingdoms? Who literally shook kingdoms? When Hiroshima and Nagasaki, them bombs dropped on it, them people felt the quake everywhere. And when those missiles let off or bombs let off, it burst your sound, man. So that sound and even that actual, it's a representation, but it's actually physical too. It said it did shake kingdoms. What else?
It said that, I read from the top of me. This is Isaiah 14, verse 16. They that shall see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble?
Is this the man? So we got to identify that this is an actual man. The word in the Hebrew is what ayash. What that represents a physical person. It's not a spirit. It's not the spiritual demon Satan. It's talking about a physical man that actually roams the earth. That's the controller. Just like you have a video game and you got somebody that's controlling and motioning everything. Somebody's behind that controller doing basically motioning and controlling everything. It's the so-called white man. Keep going.
That did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness.
That made the world as a wilderness. All these different cities are basically being devoured, man. The forests, all these forests. What they say, they're chopping down forests the size of Panama every year.
And Amazon is huge.
But the so-called white man is attacking these lands.
We gotta admit how much
Deforestation, burning down these different cities. That was a major tactic of Esau. Even when you're dealing with like back in the ancient world with the Slavs, when they would take down nations, they would burn the cities down, man.
Yeah.
That was just a tactic that they would use, because that's the nature of Esau. He just want to burn shit up, killing off the animals.
Yeah, when he came over here, he burned the teepees and families and stuff like that.
the concrete.
But he does it differently now in these cities. He's drying them completely out. they're just shells of themselves. You know, there's no life in them now. And you know, they have a word for them called like if you look at Detroit and these cities, these places like that, they're called urban deserts,
Yeah, like urban wasteland.
urban wastelands.
Yeah, when you look at these documentaries and you see areas like Detroit, you see areas like Chirac, of course, certain parts of Atlanta, certain parts of New Orleans, Louisiana on the whole, Florida. Those be like that's the worst of the worst. And you got to think about it. Prior to the so-called white man, and prior to us being on the land, what did those different cities and areas look like? They were paradise. Fully flourishing, greenery, you know, fruits in abundance, all kind of exotic animals that dwelled and roamed the land. There was in peace, waterfalls, lakes, and all these different things. The so-called white man destroyed it. That's why you got all these different lakes and major bodies of water that's drying up, man. He's just destroying the pH of the whole world. Keep going.
And destroyed the cities thereof.
And destroyed the cities. And if you destroy the cities, you got to destroy the people that lives in the city.
Yeah.
Because what inhabits the city? Citizens. These different cities are vanquished, man. And they're vanquished to the point of no return. That's why one main thing the so-called white man did was push diseases, man. That always been a tactic for the so-called white man. Germ warfare. When he invaded the so-called natives, it wasn't a gun-for-gun battle. All right, what did they result in? Influenza, smallpox. They gave them sheiks as presents. They wrapped themselves in it. Next thing you know, they got boils all over their skin, man. Amongst other things, you know, you had the Puerto Rican cancer experiment. You had what was that? The Tuskegee experiment.
Yep.
Where they would actually have jakes lining up, acting like they're gonna cure them for diseases, but behind the scenes they're injecting poison in their bloodstream, man.
Doing
AIDS.
surgery on them and stuff.
Cancer, high blood pressure, diabetes, and the foods.
Wasn't there an article that said every year 100,000 plus people died just from air quality?
Yeah, 100,000 from inhaling plastic in the air.
You got now hepatitis A. That's in these cities that are rat infested cities.
Oh yeah, these cities are rat infested.
Oh shoot.
Roaches.
What is the LAPD? They get I think LA is rat infested now.
Yeah,
the
I seen a
LAPD
video.
got disease.
Goddamn rat was sliding down the
Yeah, the LAPD.
fucking subway. Y'all didn't see that video?
I seen that video, so yeah.
These fucking
Yeah,
rats,
pizza
man.
and shit. How he take it to the ninja?
This place is jacked up, man. But see, Jake could look at this and they think that this is the kingdom of heaven.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because they could get a nice little 2011. You know, they could ride around. They could get bust a chick down. They could hit the club and get some margaritas or
Hookah.
some Ciroc. You know, sip the same liquor that Jay-Z drinks. So they think that this is the kingdom when this is truly hell, man. This is the place of punishment. That's why you always coughing. That's why you're constantly depressed. You know, you wake up being like, fuck, man. You don't want to get out of bed sometimes. Everything you eat and you don't know what the hell is in the food that you're consuming. You know, you might like yesterday I bought a salad. I see on the front it had corn, which the corn is like 99% of the corn is GMO.
99. Shit.
100%. I'm getting that far. It's 100%. But
It done leaked over to
it
the
had
lab.
corn in it. It had chicken. It was a salad, and I think it had like a little, dressing. I turned the back of it to look at the ingredients. Man, that shit probably had over 200 different ingredients in it. I'm thinking, what the hell is in it?
Fructose, high
All I
fructose
see
corn
is
syrup.
chicken, corn, and salad. I turned it around. I'm telling you,
99% was in the salad dressing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They ain't say
yeah.
nothing about no vitamins that's in the corn per se. Or
Then it's all these long words with Z's and X's, and I'm like, man, I can't pronounce
Polite words.
I can't pronounce this.
Bunch of polite words on
Yeah,
the back of it.
Xanthum gum, red 40, and all this. Whatever.
Xanthum
the-
gum.
Blue 22 and
Blue
shit.
20.
Natural flavor. What the hell is natural
Natural
flavor?
and artificial flavor. Basically, poison. They should just put big ass poison on the back.
Skull and bowl on it.
Yeah, we had those They Live glasses. You will see it. It should be a big ass skull, man.
If I can say too, it's just like I had went to the store the other day and I looked at this sweet potato pie. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, let me search this long ingredient name. It's just a sweet potato pie. And I search it and it go into a seaweed. Why is this seaweed in the sweet potato pie, man?
And who the fuck is putting this stuff?
Oh, probably
in there, man?
from the MSG.
Still, man.
That's where they get it. That's where they get it from. Monosodium glutamate.
I got this real article.
You got an article?
Yeah, you was talking about. This is from Healthline, and it says, "Here's how living in a city can mess with your mental health." So I'm gonna skip down real quick. It says these might sound like small annoyances, but studies show that the hustle and bustle of an urban life can actually take a toll on our physical and mental health. And it says constant.
And it does.
Yeah.
We're all physically and mentally stressed out. That's why you have complexes about yourself. Whether you admit it or not, everybody feels a certain way about themselves. We don't move with a sense of, high esteem.
Manliness.
Yeah, manliness. Our testosterone is at an all-time low. We get berated by the ones that live amongst us. You know, you might have family members that's constantly pegging at you. You might have a woman in your household that's treating you like a piece of shit, man.
Yeah, big bully.
Or if it's not her,
Big bitch.
you look on
Big
TV
bully bitch.
and all these women speaking about basically how niggas ain't shit. You might be busting your ass trying to make ends meet and do for yourself, but it's always somebody telling you what you ain't doing right.
Yep.
God.
Keep going.
Oh, I'm gonna skip down. There's a spirit. It says compared to rural residents, researchers have found that the urbanites are 21% more likely to have anxiety.
Urbanites.
Urbanites.
But that's us.
That's us.
That's a whole other tribe. Urbanites,
That's a new
man.
nationality.
Yeah, that's a new
Look
nationality.
at life right there, man.
Hey, the Barzal, the urbanites.
Yeah, the urbanites.
Found that urbanites are 21% more likely to have anxiety disorders and 39% more likely to have mood disorders. Skip it down. It says, and a 2017 analyst also found that the rates of mental health conditions were higher among those living in urban areas. PTSD.
Which is post-traumatic stress disorder.
That's shit you get when you go to war.
That's the type of shit you get when you getting shipped overseas and there's guns that's constantly going off around you.
Your damn job,
You getting
man.
that in the hood. Why? Because there's guns that's constantly going off around you, man. Guns, the poisonous food. Like I said, the food that because food is very, very impactful whether you know it or not, man. Not saying because we know it, but for the mass of these people, they just eat without a care in the world, and then they wonder why they want to commit suicide right after because of the BS that you're eating, man. You just stuffed a whole McDonald's burger in your gut full of poison. And now you bugged out. Now you want to jump on something.
With a big soda.
Yeah, with a big mega gulp. You know. Now you want to shoot something or shoot yourself. That's why Chicago. I'm pretty sure they got a horrible food chain, man.
You know what I read in see lead in water actually leads to it's studies that show that lead in water leads to higher aggression in people. So you know there in Chicago, man, that number lead water, man.
Lead County.
Shit,
That's
number
lead county.
Shit, they number letting off lead.
That's why they go outside like you said and they want to shoot lead all fucking day. All that metals in their
You are
brain.
what you eat, man. You keep going up.
Anger management, generalized anxiety disorders. The same was true for more serious psychological disorders like schizophrenia and paranoia.
Yeah, so basically most of these people are like split out here, man. That's why when you get on Instagram, especially the women, man,
Yep.
you go on Instagram, you click on a picture of a chick, right? She might be looking all petite cooking. You next picture like she on like a prostitute on the strip, man.
It's gone.
Then the next pic is something
twerking?
different. She dressed up like an anime character. Like, what the fuck is she really into, man? Is she trying to be a chef, or is she trying to be a hoe, or is she an aspiring actress? What? That's why these people are what? Hypocrites. The word hypocrite and actor are really the same word. It goes back. Actor goes back to the Greek word hypokritos, which basically means you're a hypocrite. You know, because they don't actually fit one persona. You know, how you see us on camera is the same off camera.
That's
How you
right.
see Will Smith on camera, he's not the same
shit.
off camera, man. How you see Denzel Washington on camera, Tom Cruise on camera, you'll see like Keanu Reeves, you see him shooting all them guns. Oh, you're like, oh, this nigga is cold, man. Off camera, he probably getting beat up by his woman, man. Might be a flamethrower.
And then that might be a role.
What's his name? What's his name? Hugh Hoffman. Was it Hugh Hoffman that played Wolverine?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you see
Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman. Yeah, you see him in Wolverine, you think, man, this guy can take anything down. It's behind the scenes, but it's a flaming fag,
That's
man.
off, man. So, I mean, I need him on our side in that day, man.
Right. Man, behind the scenes, Hugh Jackman is
See, I didn't even know
In
he was
Australia,
out
too.
there like that. But see, that's the image that they push. That's why they're idols. The word idol goes into an image.
Yep.
And if you tell these assholes otherwise, like, yo, this world is a big facade, who you truly, if we ask them who their idol is, you know, most of them might say Miley Cyrus or,
Yep.
you know, whoever, man. And we tell them the truth about it. You know, they worship Baphomet, they worship Satan, they're part of a sex cult.
Right.
You know, they commit homosexual acts and lesbianism, whether they're man or woman, with people in high positionings for roles in the casting couch. These people will look at you like you're fucking 10 heads. Man.
like, you don't believe
They
that?
ain't gonna believe it. They're gonna be looking like a Neo on Matrix when he heard the truth.
Oh yeah, he threw up.
Threw up.
Yeah, threw up.
Get me out of here.
He said no, I don't believe it.
But
No.
what does it say in the Galatians? Am I therefore, you can get that in Galatians. Am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth? Some more on that?
You're looking
And we'll get that. Talking about.
and destroyed the cities thereof that opened not the house of his prisoners, all the kings.
That open not the house of our prisoners. We're in chains right now, whether you see them or not. We seen them back in the day. All right, in the 1600s, 1700s. All right, we was shackled ankle and feet, some around the neck. Depending on the level of aggression you had, they would put the joint around your neck and put the bell. So if you would try to run, that bell would constantly ring and they would see where you was at.
Oh, they put that cage. They had like a cage
They would
around
put a
their
cage
head
over
too.
your head. Like that one demon on what was that 13 Ghosts? A whole,
Yeah. It was a Jake too, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
It was a Jake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's pulling the spikes out of his damn.
But see, now it's spiritual. It's an updated, modified slavery.
It was a black.
Read the Willie Lynch letter. Willie Lynch said that, he said, man, these niggas are too rebellious. Basically, Willie Lynch was rebuking the plantation masters at that time.
Yeah.
He was saying, y'all format of slavery, y'all outdated, man.
Y'all off.
I mean, y'all know what
Y'all
y'all
still
doing.
trying to whip the control, and these niggas is bucking up just like on Boondocks when Jake was talking shit to the slave master. I'm pretty
Oh,
sure
yeah.
Jake was
Yeah.
doing that to some slave master.
The end of my dick.
Yeah.
These nuts.
These nuts.
He said these nuts.
The intercom.
But what happened?
Yeah.
Willie Lynch said, all right, we're going to have to step it up,
Yeah,
man. We're going to make this more spiritual. Let's put the light skin against the dark skin. It basically like he took Deuteronomy 28 and slapped it on a piece of paper and gave it to the slave master.
He was in the spirit.
He was in the spirit when he did that. So that's that prophecy coming to pass. Yeah.
Margaret said that. You get that?
What you got?
Galatians 4:16.
Yeah, you can read that real fast.
It's Galatians chapter 4, verse 16. And I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth.
Am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth? And this is the truth which we're preaching. That's why we go into each and every aspect of what occurred to our people, and we put it we shed light on it, man. We shed the history. All right, we go into the prophecy. You know, we go into the health conditions. We go into everything, man, that's facing and that's battling us as a nation, and we tell the truth about it. We tell where we went off, and we tell where we got to get better. But see, Jake don't want to hear criticism. That's the problem with a nigga. A nigga would tell you everything that you got to do right, but when you tell them what they got to do right, they ain't trying to hear it, man. They get offended. That's why it's called a mother complex. Jake always used to what they mother telling him. And what your mom always gonna tell you what you doing right, baby. It's all good. Yeah, you got a 50. You do better next time. You know, rubbing your back. You know, basically feeding you, always keeping you on a titty. Because if you a child that basically, especially in most cases, like with a one mother household or mother and father, you know, and you latch onto the mother, she keep you on a nipple all the time, man.
Oh yeah.
She keep bleeding you until 18 years old.
Oh, yeah, some jakes after that.
That's what happened with the
Some
Jacksons.
jakes can't get off the titty, man. Sucking the titty unto this day. Yeah. But
They
nah,
try to
you're
call
right.
me out in this video, man.
Yeah, some jakes, and they ain't trying to leave the titty. That's why Jake don't want to leave the house. You know, as long as Big Mama could cook them fried pork chops, that good mash.
Keep the power on.
Yep. Jake ain't going nowhere.
I got a precept for you if you don't.
That's more on that. Well, that's really the main point. You got something?
You was saying about Jake don't want to hear their errors. This is Isaiah 30 and 9, and it says, that this is a rebellious people, lying children, children that will not hear the law of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things.
Yeah, so the seers in the ancient times were the prophets. They were the ones that would have extreme clairvoyance of what would occur miles down the line. And they would give you the drop on it, man. They basically had super eyes. Basically like a sniper. Like if you see them snipers, they have that.
Yep.
Or people that have binoculars and they constantly monitoring and constantly scanning the land. And if they see troops that's hovering, that's soon to march forward, they would tell everybody, hey, you know, we gotta assimilate, we gotta get ready because battle is soon to approach. But Jake, niggas, they would hear the message, but man, get out my face with that bullshit, man. If he ain't talking about getting money, I ain't trying to hear it. Until the times would come and Jake would be jacked up. Keep going.
Prophesy deceits. Get you out of the way.
So if it's not a message of prosperity, if it ain't got nothing to do with Jake getting a higher net worth, or more women, or better shoes, more food, then they ain't trying to hear it, man. Like if we was a food channel,
oh shit,
you know, we was presenting the food and samples and shit. You have this line all the way across the goddamn, like a damn circle, man.
Live stream had like damn near 10,000 people on it.
Yeah. Right. Or we was entertainers, you know, fucking dressed up like Comic-Con or Dragon Con individuals. You know, it'd be a lot of jakes that would attend that bullshit, man. That's why when you go on YouTube, YouTube is it's a demonic channel any fucking way. You see these jakes that be having like millions of subscribers, they just be doing straight up bullshit.
They be doing nothing.
Like this guy, I don't know if he's still relevant. I don't know. I don't follow him. The Boom Gang guy, man.
Oh yeah,
I think he's in jail.
I think he made good money off of that bullshit. Yeah. But who's paying this fucklord?
Who paying this nigga? Nah, these niggas is paying.
The goddamn
Esau too,
putting sodas on the ground and slipping through it.
Right.
You know? You guys
put them in. I got something.
Yeah. Reading on, it says verse 12. Wherefore thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise this word and trust in oppression and perverseness and stay therein.
Yeah, trust in oppression. So they trust in their neck being pressed upon. That word oppress, that word is press. It's a compound word. Oppression. They're pressing on you. And who's putting that pressure down? The so-called white man. But Jake's getting a liking out of it. See, back then, when Esau would press, Jake would press back. Now Jake just taking the hits. It's basically like a boxing match, and Jake is getting his ass whooped with no referee. You know?
His head getting rocked.
Yeah, just getting his head rocked. But it's like, nigga, punch back, man.
Slide to the left or the right, man. Bob and weave.
Yeah, bob and weave, man. Duck.
Walk over them like a donut.
But see, you get there with that Isaiah that we may walk over.
Yeah.
But see, you have spiritual coaches, and the job of a man of the Lord is to teach you and coach you on how to win this battle. And what are we fighting? Ephesians the 6th chapter. We wrestle not against flesh and blood. See, when Jake does get together to try to fight, they trying to fight physically. They put their money in the pool, and they trying to get the best guns that they could purchase. Best automatics. That's why you had them Jakes that got smoked. I forget the neighborhood, but them niggas, man, they was a big example of how not to be. They was like a Black Panther party, but they got guns, they got arms and everything. They dropped bombs on them niggas. Y'all about to show up with the thighs. They dropped bombs on them. They basically had like a setup like this. It was full of them, like a Panther party. They dropped bombs on that whole thing, man.
Talking about Black Wall Street?
It wasn't Black Wall Street. It was
something recent.
It wasn't recent. It was in the 1900s, I think. Early, late night, probably like in the 80s or the 70s. I probably have. Move. I think it was Move. Yep.
Oh yeah, in the early around 81, 82. Yeah.
Yeah, them was some.
I know you're talking about.
And they had guns. They had all kind of guns. They was all about fighting the white man physically. All the white men swamped them guys, man.
But you don't hear about it. It's called Move. M-O-V.
Yeah, Move. That's a prime example on how not to be. And they was you know, they had muscle. They had a layout. They had a level of control. But the so-called white man, he controls everything, man. This is his monopoly board.
Hey, that's how the Bloods and Crips started out. He started out basically protecting the neighborhood from the police, but Esau turned them against each other.
Yeah, because Crips was community resistance, I think, in progress, some to that effect. Yeah, and they turned turn it into a blue and red thing. You know, red versus blue, kill each other for colors.
Yep.
You got some more on that?
Oh, I had something else if you don't mind.
Okay.
This is Romans 13:1, and it says, "Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. The powers that be are ordained of the Alahayim."
Yeah, so move with a level of subtlety with the snake. In order to be a snake, beat a snake, you gotta be a snake, man.
Snake.
Didn't Denzel say that on training day? You wanna beat a wolf, you got
To catch a wolf, it takes a wolf.
To catch a wolf, it takes a wolf. So that means you gotta actually use the same tactics to overcome the enemy, man. If he playing a certain role with you, play a role with him, man. Yep, Yahweh Shah said it. Which Yahweh Shah was the king snake, man.
Oh,
That's why he represented
king
that
snake.
snake during the time of Exodus.
yeah.
What's that? John 3:14. You can get that to back it up. Yeah, 3 and
Want me to read this last verse?
hold that real
Hold it,
quick.
okay.
Let me back it up.
Finna blow their mind with this with John 3 and 14, bro. They never heard that before.
I know.
There's a John 3 and 14?
Genesis, what's that?
15 say.
Or 3? It says, snake, the serpent was a most subtle beast in the field. You gotta emulate that sometimes.
Oh, and that spiritually said that because Adam got simple through the snake, so he had to rebeat him through using his same tactics. Man, he had to use the wisdom of the serpent. Know he was being played and play the same game just like him.
Sometimes you don't learn until you get bit, though.
That's right. You got to get bit to. And what happens when you get bit and you survive? You start to develop immunity for it. Got that?
John chapter 3, verse 14. And as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness,
Yep.
even so must the Son of Man be lifted up.
So Yahweh Shah represents that serpent in the wilderness. And when you read about the serpent in the wilderness, all Jake had to be bit by that serpent in order to pass. So we have to be spiritually bit by that snake, which is Yahweh Shah, in order to pass through, pass over.
Somebody,
You got it?
hey, Paul, he got bit by the snake. It was a
Oh,
beauty
yeah.
because he was practicing the same thing as Yahweh Shah.
They had to come up to the, like building on that other point, they had to come up to Moses who had that brass snake in his hand because he was going through the wilderness and all them snakes. It's just like now, we're in the wilderness of what? Babylon. This is the wilderness.
This is the wilderness.
Snakes, and Esau's the main dragon snake.
Everybody got
We got
king
the
snake.
Yeah, he's the king snake. And got wicked snakes
Leviathan.
up under him too.
And you know, cobras are known. They're snake eaters. Cobras eat other cobras.
Yep.
Damn.
You got some more on that?
No, you want me to go? Yeah, I got you. Salakia. This is back in Romans 13:2. It says, "Whosoever therefore resists the power,
Yeah.
resisteth the ordinance of Yahweh Shem Yahushai."
Yeah, so this devil has a level of power. You know, and it's not to kiss his ass to be on Uncle Tom and try to make it in the school system. It's to know how to maneuver, man. When you amongst the enemy, you gotta play chess, man. This is chess, not checkers. You got Jake that just want to be brutish and try to beat down the cops and shit. Next thing you know, they getting shot. Now they on t-shirts. You know, that ain't wisdom. You didn't fulfill nothing with that. This layout, the fight that we're commencing in, is spiritual. That's why you have to be patient with the fight, man. You gotta assimilate with the right men. Everybody has to be on the right frame of mind. Everybody has to be training, developing, growing, waxing wiser. You know, not getting caught up in bullshit, not backtracking, but always looking forward. Not getting caught by the booby traps and the snares and nets that's laid Sodom. This is warfare. Some more on that. You want to say something?
Oh, I was gonna say a great example of what you said is remember a few years ago that Jake that killed all them went on that cop killing spree.
Big Mike.
Was it
Big Mike though?
No. It was
Dallas?
It was in Dallas.
It was in Dallas. The dashiki dude. He on the dashiki.
Yeah, he had a dashiki. He was in the Charger.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like a Charger. But the point of it all is like, yeah, he killed some cops and he got killed in it. But we can't even think of his name right now.
Yeah.
So it was a pointless, a mission failed.
Incomplete.
Incomplete. You know? But reading on, and it says, "And they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation."
See? And they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation. Just like during the time of the king of Babylon,
Christopher Dorner.
the Most High Yahweh had told
2012,
told us as Israel to serve under the king of Babylon for this number of years. So we had to submit under the rule and be subject under the rule of Babylon because the Lord, who put the Babylonians over us? The Most High did. When Nebuchadnezzar took us down, it was because of our rebellion. When we fell to Egypt, all these different powers, it was for a reason, either to show a level of chastisement or to show the power of the Lord, or sometimes both. You see? So even in today's time, we have to utilize the wisdom and not rebel in the wrong way. Because it's a righteous rebellion and it's a wicked rebellion in the eyes of the Lord. This is the best rebellion when you ringing the bell, man. When you actually sounding the alarm as it is written in Joel, man. Yeah. Blowing the trumpet. Isaiah 58:1. Not actually blowing guns and shit at the cops. You know?
Yeah, because the shooter, I think the shooter get more time, but the dude that thought about it get less time or something like that, or is it vice versa?
In most cases, the guy that thought about it,
the mastermind
would get more time. Ain't no telling these different. This 6ix9ine, he done switched this whole loop.
I thought they all give
the niggas that even be plotting nowadays. Hey, man, you got all these snitches and situations. Esau don't even deal about righteous laws, man. Yeah. You know.
Yeah. You got probably erased all his tattoos.
Yeah.
This is Psalm chapter 23.
Selling insurance.
Verse 4. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil.
Yeah, and that valley represents a low land. We're in a very, very low, debaucherous land, man. But we shouldn't fear evil. The word evil represents bad times. And we're in a time of grief. You know, we have the so-called white man, the devil ruling over us. We have these East Indians and Chinese, Japanese profiting off of us, selling us poison. And right when you get sick, what you run to a pharmaceutical shop, man. But see, as a man of the Lord, you have to run to the Lord, as it is written in the Proverbs 18 and 10. The Lord's name is a strong tower. That's right. So that's the only way that you can receive safety is through the Spirit of the Lord.
Yep, that's it.
And when we say the Spirit of the Lord, it's not just not only calling on His name, but it's action. It's works that supply your faith. If you believe in Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you believe everything that entails what he embodies. He told you when you're sick, get into the herbs. That's the Spirit of the Lord.
That's right.
He said when you go through situations and you go through detrimental conditions, to trust in His wisdom.
Yeah.
That's the Spirit of the Lord. Counsel, the brotherhood. Those are aspects of the Spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua that's used through the Spirit to comfort you. All right, you got some more of that? Goodbye.
Oh yeah, it says, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Just like in the time of Nebuchadnezzar.
That's right.
It said, the Lord told us to serve under Nebuchadnezzar and have to venture off or lest we get killed. Just like now, he used the prophets to tell the people, even before Nebuchadnezzar came.
That's right.
Because the Lord still said, look, we still gonna go in that land anyway, even though Hananiah, the false prophet, told the people that it's not gonna happen like that. We're gonna conquer them.
You
still had our
deal.
king at that time.
That's right.
But Jake want to do carnal things right now in order to ease that pain that the Most High put on us through the enemy, which is Esau today, the so-called white man. Can't escape from these curses to the Lord, to Shiloh come back.
That's right.
Genesis chapter 49.
Yep. Till they fulfill themselves. And just like it said, thy rod and thy staff. The staff, a staff is an instrument of stability. When you were aged, when you would actually be walking on a long journey, most men would actually carry a staff, and it would be like a third leg. It would take the weight off of the masses of your body. So what takes the weight off of you? The scriptures, man. Mm-hmm. Isn't this world a burden? It's burdensome, but the scriptures comfort you. That word comfort comes with and for it represents a protection. Psalms 34:7. You got something?
This is Micah 7 verse 9. I will bear the indignation of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, because I have sinned against him until he plead my cause and execute judgment for me.
Yeah, we all in hell for a reason, man. We all transgressed, as it is written in Jude. The angels that kept not the commandments. That first estate were cast to the heavens, basically dressed in chains, which represents these mortal, impudent terrestrial bodies. You know, so we are all down here for a reason, man. That's why you can't be in that spirit of I'm innocent. Even Job said that. You know, what he said, basically none is innocent before the eyes of the Lord. Whoever perished being innocent. None of us are innocent, but that's why we have to do that which is right, so our hands will be made clean. As it is written, though your sin be as scarlet, they shall be white as wool. And how do you purify yourself and make your absolve your sins? Psalms 119:9. Somebody can read that real fast.
Thank you.
Hold that real fast. Because in this world of impure and uncleanliness, it's only one way to become clean and be made white and pure.
This is Psalms chapter 119, verse 9. Beth, wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his ways? Be taken heed thereto according to thy words.
Yeah, so wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way? By taking heed unto the word, man. Because these words are what washes you and purifies you and makes you clean. That's why it's known as what? The nitre in Jeremiah, the 2nd chapter. It said, though I wash thee with nitre. Basically, Jake wasn't clean. Nitre is a substance that's basically compared to soap. Now, did the Lord actually come down and actually give you some antibacterial soap and scrub you down? No. He gave you the written word to purify you and to cleanse you. But see, Jake got a problem with filth. Jake has an infatuation and basically a strong attraction to the grime and mud.
That dirty nigga off of Pootie Town.
Yeah.
Dirty D.
Yeah, Dirty D. He came out of the car.
That's the 2/3.
It's like Dirty D.
That's Jake, man.
Dirty D.
Shaking the dirt on the
Just fucking love mud, man.
Didn't he clean them?
Yeah, they snuck dirt into the prison too.
Yeah, they cleaned them. They cleaned
that's
them.
in Peters. It speaks about the swine. You try to clean up a pig up. You would give a pig the most thorough cleaning, man. Is it gonna stay clean? Hell no. Because they're designed to be filthy. Same thing with a lot of these jakes. It don't matter what you do. You can tell them each and everything, how to become clean, how to become pure. You give them the layout, you give them the direction to walk, they're gonna go the exact opposite. So the hell with a nigga, man. It's only about the 1/3 the elect. And it's about us working on our own salvation and trying to stay clean and made and stay pure. You got some more on that?
Yeah, it was a little bit more. 15:1. I didn't want to talk again. This is Micah 7 verse 9. I will bear the indignation of the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, because I have sinned against him until he plead my cause and execute judgment for me.
Yeah, until he plead our cause. Because even though we're in this lower state, it tells you that the so-called white man basically went above his extent to oppress us. Here it is, we're already sick. Why the fuck you keep poisoning us? You know? Overkill.
Yeah.
The so-called white man believes in overkill, even killing his own. This land is full of sick Edomites. Some of these Edomites be worse than us.
Hell yeah.
But see, it's not about them. He don't give a hell about them. He wants to get you at all costs. He'll kill the innocent just to basically get the one that he really wants. That's why they'll go to these different lands,
Casualties.
and they'll have those casualties of war. And they just write them off as basically, what do they say, like collateral?
Collateral damage.
Collateral damage. When you think about collateral, you're thinking about buildings and shit. Nah, it's people. They just, they were just in the midst, wrong place, wrong time. And then they'll keep it pushing, man.
They show you that in that movie, was it The Darkest Hour? That military movie where they was over in the Middle East. And basically in the movie, they were trying to kill a terrorist that was at a wedding, right? It was one guy they wanted to kill. They dropped a whole drone. They did a whole drone attack on the whole compound. Kill everybody just to kill one person.
Yep. The so-called white man goes far like that. There's plenty of instances where he's done that previously, and he will do it again. And he's still doing it. Well, do we really know what the hell is going on over there in the Middle East?
Right.
You know, where the so-called white man doesn't have his cameras following him every goddamn where. They ain't pushing it on TV. You can't just turn on a certain channel and see a troop with the surveillance camera.
Body cam.
But don't they got their body cams? Why can't we?
Well, they used to do that. You know, used to turn on like sometimes, and they'll have like them you know, like they'll have them shows or them like them little reports of them following soldiers around.
Yeah, they're probably actors right there, man.
Right. Now they don't do that no more.
Like an MTV
CNN
camera
used to
crew
do it.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they discontinued a lot of that after the Vietnam conflict. A lot of Jake was coming back in body bags. That traumatized the citizens, man. They said, nah, no more of this shit.
Yeah.
They gonna see we getting our asses kicked. I can't see that. We gotta narrate the story.
Came back like what's his name? Captain Dan.
Bunch of Purple Hearts getting handed out and
Yeah,
shit.
you're like, God damn.
Captain
And you know what that does too? It makes it where you don't want to sign up to be a troop.
That's true.
Because if these individuals really seeing what goes on over there, overseas, because a lot of times even the men get raped, man. You know, a lot of times the men get beat up. Sometimes the women in the military get raped. It's a lot of foul shit that goes on in the military.
Shoot, I think it was a report. It was a report a couple years back that a lot of the sexual assaults it was more than women. It was upon men. It was more men getting sexually assaulted than
Yeah, it's
women.
basically prison. It's worse than prison. You know, that's why some people would rather go to prison than actually go to the military. You know, and then that's why when you go over there, you know, a lot of those troops that go, they'll be traumatized. They'll be so jacked up that they can't even be regular humans anymore. They got PTSD. They got a shell shock. They want to commit suicide. That's why it's a high level of veteran suicide. After that, they can't recover because of what they've seen and what has played in their minds. Man. What you got some more? Oh, you got?
Oh, yeah, a little bit more. He will bring me forth to the light, and I shall behold his righteousness.
Yeah, and the light is the truth. And we're being brought forth to that light, which is the truth. And it's all about us staying and remaining in it. Because you could be in the light to see. But as soon as you get seduced and brought into that darkness, then your eyes is closed. And it's not easy to return to the light after you lose the light. You know, the scriptures speak about how when you willfully sin, how you basically, there's no cloak for your sin. So this isn't a jump back and forth, man. You can't be in the light today and then you want to be a nigga tomorrow.
Right.
You want to be amongst the vampires in the club, and now the next day you want to be a saint. It don't work like that. But you see, that's how Jake want to do. Jake want to be a damn cannibal, you know, be amongst the people reveling, being a big boy nigga committing adultery one day, and the next day they want to be the purest soul on the face of the earth. You got that?
Yeah, this is Psalms 37, and I'm gonna start from the top. It says, fret not thyself because of evildoers.
Yeah, fret not thyself because of evildoers. If I'm not mistaken, that word fret is basically don't be jealous. Keep going. Or don't trip.
Neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity.
Yeah, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity. Keep going.
For they shall soon be cut down like the grass.
And why did David say that? Because hey, sometimes you be like, man, motherfuckers living fat, man. I got a fucking 2-bedroom, and I'm stressing over that. I'm late on bills. It's hard as hell to pay fucking $900 a month.
Right.
And you got these devils that's paying damn $9,000 a month.
You got way more.
These sometimes more. These multi-millionaire villas and mansions. These expansive mansions with the pools and
penthouses.
The penthouses. You know, some jakes will get envious. That's why they'll do whatever it takes in order to live like that, man. But you can't be envious because what? The scriptures speak about how the princes shall eat in due season. Each and every one of these tribes are going to get theirs. All right? We had ours at a time, but we lost it.
That's
But
right.
if we keep doing that, which is required of Yahweh Shema Shah, and hold fast our faith until the end, we'll reobtain it. All of us are going to be mini Solomons, man. We're going to be greater than Solomon. Individually. Solomon had, and when you read about Solomon's layout, he had everything. You know? But we're going to have that plus more. Because the Most High said he's going to give us planets. So each and every brother will be rewarded planets. And abundance of women. And immortal life. So you enjoy and have pleasure for eternity with the brothers that actually labored and fought with you on earth. That's a bad story.
Please, can I?
Oh, you got it.
This is Matthew 6:28. And it says, and why take ye thought for raiment? Consider the lilies of the field and how they grow. They toil not, neither do they spin. And yet I say unto you that even Solomon in all of his glory was not as great as one of them.
That's right. Yeah. So that's why you just gotta have faith and don't even trip, man. The Most High supplies, He give you shelter. He'll make sure you have your daily bread. We pray for our daily bread, but you do what the Lord wants you to do. All right, it's a contract. The Lord said He gonna provide for you. You provide for Him. Do His work while He's on earth, or while you're on earth. Excuse me. You know, Yahweh Shai, as it is written about the king that's going away in a long journey. So the servants have to be working, man. And He said when He comes back, He shall He not find so doing. He gonna find a lot of people doing, and He gonna find a lot of people not doing. So some people's hands is gonna be working. Some people's hands gonna be in the white man's cookie jar, man. You know, trying to live and eat at the same round table as the devil.
Can't serve two masters.
Can't serve two masters. You know, this thing is about being in the field. That's why Jake, when you deal with slavery, one of the main things Jake embraces is being a field nigga, man. Jake like, I was a field nigga, if anything. Man, a lot of these niggas that say they field niggas, house niggas, man.
Yeah.
Cause the field niggas were the ones that was out working and busting their ass, and they wasn't willing to conform to the ways of the white man. Some of them had their foot chopped off. You know, some of them was maimed. Some of them had to get, you know, their asses whooped to get it. And in the back of their mind, they always knew it was that man was the devil. House niggas, they just be like, man, I love this white man. Yeah. Stephens. The hell with leaving this plantation. This is my house. Oh yeah. Oh, and that's another thing with house niggas. House niggas had a problem when field niggas came up, man. And they would see another man of their kindred raising up, even on the same level as the white man, they be ready to kill him, to lose their life.
That nigga on that nab.
That nigga on that neck. And the funny thing is, it was a straight up house nigga playing the role. Samuel. Yeah, he a house nigga.
You probably watch it.
It's a little bit more.
It says,
I'm gonna go switch with
this is Psalms 37, verse 2. For they shall soon be cut down like the grass and wither as the green herb.
Yeah, when you cut that lawnmower on, all you doing is pushing. Them things chopping. So that's how these white people gonna be chopped off, man. Quick work. You know, them riding lawnmowers, shit, man.
That Z-Rider?
You clean shit up.
That's right.
And there's a lot of Edomites on the face of the earth. So what type of instrument do you have to clean up that many people? And it's written that I will make thee a sharp new instrument having teeth. That's right. That means you got to be souped up. You got to be fit for war. And you got to think about it. The so-called white man has exoskeletons. He has all this. Basically, he's a damn near cyborg at this point. Military. They got this type of technology where it's hard to take down these so-called the military. So how can you clean up that many people? You got to have something that's extraterrestrial dealing with you, man. Keep going.
It says, trust in the Lord and do good. So shall thou dwell in the land, and verily thou shalt be fed.
Yeah, and verily thou shalt be fed and dwell in the land. The land is Idun, paradise. But you got to just trust in the Lord. Just believe. You know, as the saying goes, it's so cliche, but believing is achieving. But you do have to believe and walk towards so that you can achieve. When you read about our ancient forefathers, the patriarchs, all the men that basically got to the level, to the apex of where they wanted to get to in the spirit, it all started by their belief. Hebrews 11:1. They had a faith, they believed in it, and then they pursued it. They pursued it aggressively. Nobody could tell them otherwise. You had some people that try to dissuade them or persuade them or seduce them, whether it was left-hand side spirits or family, any type of elements, infirmities that will come against them, but they always trusted in Yahweh Shema Shah. They kept that core within them, and they never let anything outside deter them or distract them from the goal, man. Because they seen the kingdom of heaven, whether through in the visions or through somebody declaring it unto them. Like the disciples in Yahweh Shah, they didn't necessarily receive the vision, but they had a man of high regard that had spiritual power amongst them, telling them about a kingdom that would occur thousands of years after the fact.
Yep.
And we're reading about a book, reading about men that actually spoke about things thousands of years away to the things that's soon to come in these times now, man. Just a little bit more.
It says, delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee desire of thy heart.
Yeah, delight thyself in the Lord, and he shall give you the desire of thy heart. Keep going.
Commit thy ways unto the Lord, trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. And he shall bring forth the righteousness as the light, and thy judgment as the noonday. Rest in the Lord and wait patiently for him.
Yeah, it says rest in the Lord and wait patiently for him. So the Lord has a particular bosom that men of the Lord that's of the spirit can rest in. And that's the area of safety. But see the problem with a lot of Jake is Jake likes danger, man. Jake likes the adrenaline of being out there, trying to pursue things that might cost their life just for the thrill of it.
Yep.
And in certain cases, it does, man. The prison is filled up with niggas. They have, an infatuation with adrenaline, man. They want to try to get the money fast. Here it is, they can work. You know, like these jakes are trying to rob a bank for money. You know, probably they trying to rob for $10,000. Nigga, you just had an interview for a job that paid you more than $20,000 a year, but you didn't fucking go. See, that's the mentality of Jake, man. But that's why you gotta just trust in your how about Shimei Shah, walk through that straight and narrow to the end. You got it.
Come on. Hey, Jake like they say, bros, they like to live fast, die young.
Yep.
YOLO spirit.
That YOLO spirit.
I just heard a nigga on the store, talking about, but nah, this ain't your first time down here, man. Being wicked. That's off from that YOLO spirit.
Exactly.
That's right.
So I'm gonna land back off the Ibad bars off. Get Daniel chapter 3 and let's say like 16. Yeah, start at 16. Get in the Apocrypha, the prayer of Azariah, or the three holy children. Let's start at verse 4. Go ahead, bro.
This is Daniel chapter 3 and verse 16. Shadrach,
Cedric,
Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter.
Great. So we're speaking to they're in, as you can tell, they're in the Babylonian Empire at this point. This is around like 605, between 605, 602-ish, something like that, BC, during the time of Nebuchadnezzar II, when you look it up. Okay? They told him, read the last part of that verse again.
O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter.
All right? Because pretty much they were getting threatened to get thrown into the fiery furnace. Go ahead.
Verse 17, if it be so, our power, whom we serve, is able to deliver us from the burning furnace, fiery furnace.
Fiery furnace.
Fiery furnace, yeah.
Just like the Abad Barzal was going into, he's like, yo, look, you gotta have the faith. You have to be pretty much. You have to be faithful in your how about Shimei Shai and not worry. They said, so be it. If you got to throw us in there, then fuck it, throw us in there, because I'm not about to compromise my integrity for something that you want me to do that compromises my morality. You know? Go ahead.
And he will deliver us out of thy hand, O king.
And he will deliver us out of thy hand, O king. Okay? They're about to go through their literally fiery tribulation. Okay? Daniel, see, and these are Daniel's boys too, man.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's like, man, these are my boys. I could tell Daniel in the background was sending up hella prayers for his boys, man. Because guess what? I'm pretty sure these three were sending up a lot of prayers when Daniel had to go through his beastly tribulation with the lions.
They just hyped them up. It just increased their faith because they saw like, oh,
Exactly.
how about Shimei Shah is with us?
They was dealing like Shar Al-Babadi said, you know, the Lord was dealing with these men. Okay? Go ahead. Yep.
Okay. Verse 18, but if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up.
There you go. So either life or death. regardless, if I die, if the Lord has mercy on me and lets me live, regardless, I'm not faltering to these vain idols that you want us to worship.
Right.
I'm not losing my integrity for some petty wood and stone, man. They knew the laws. All right, go ahead. And they knew they had. That's how you know. For these old, we was talking about the thing last week or 2 weeks ago about the Old Testament Bible thumpers who don't believe in the New Testament and don't believe in Yahweh Shai, meaning they really don't. They're the law of the law and don't really get the faith aspect. Well, there's faith and mercy in the Old Testament.
Plenty of that.
You see what I'm saying? So go ahead. Faith is the key. Go ahead.
God. Then was Nebuchadnezzar full of fury.
Pissed.
God.
Man, I'm the king. Man, you did, and I set y'all up. I didn't have to get y'all out of the captives, but y'all seem somewhat inclined. You can learn my language, and like it says in Daniel's the 1st chapter, the children of, I think it's like the 4th verse. Matter of fact, read it. Daniel 1 and 4.
God.
I think it's Daniel 1 and 4. But hold that. I just wanted to make a quick point because Azariah and them and Daniel, they was inclined individuals. Go ahead. I think it's verse 4.
This is Daniel 1 and verse 4. Children in whom was no blemish.
Yeah, you can start at 3.
Verse 3. And the king spake unto Ashpenaz, the master of his eunuchs, that he should bring certain of the children of Israel.
Saying bring certain of the children of Israel. Because I don't mean to say it, but I mean to say it. It's like me saying sorry, but not sorry. There's goddamn idiots in Israel, man.
Yeah. Chosen stock.
He's a chosen stock, okay? But there are some degenerates in Israel. You read it in the book of Exodus, okay? There's no other reason why. Oh, go ahead.
I was say, if I may say, what made them not degenerates, like you were saying earlier, is because back then it was the oral testimony of the fact of what they knew, that the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob delivered them out of Egypt.
Yeah.
Like the Lord always would reiterate that point, that I delivered your fathers out of Egypt. So that narrative was spread throughout the land. So like you said, Nebuchadnezzar, he knew that we were the people that got led out of Egypt, and that scared him. And he thought he had that pride of like, yeah, I'm gonna break them though.
Yeah.
I want to say, even that word degenerate, it means to take away from a generation. It is to take away from generation. Because a degenerate is somebody, basically, that after their father's generation, they take away the moral values. They start to pick off the law. That's how Israel was. They would take up the law. They would take all these different things that were supposed to attach to them and embody them, and they were supposed to pro-generate. But they would be degenerates because as they progressed, they became worse and worse.
Yeah, so it's like an oxymoron. Like you said, as they progress, they decrease. It's like they're taking 1 step forward, 2 steps back. That's exactly what Israel is doing, man. That's why we're in the predicament we are to this very day.
That's right.
All right? But reading this, I believe the men around me and the men that the Lord deal with, we're in this lot right here of what's about to be speaking of. Go ahead.
That he should bring certain of the children of Israel and of the king's seed and of the princes.
All right, so it says to bring certain of the king of the children of Israel. Get John chapter 4 and 23 real quick. Okay, because that's a selection right there. Okay, well, guess the Lord put the spirit on Nebuchadnezzar to do that. Okay, so the Lord obviously is gonna make a selection with Israel as well. Go ahead, bro.
This is John 4 verse 23. But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeketh such to worship.
This is the selection part. Okay? So now we understand. This is Yahweh Shai speaking. So we understand in verse 23 that there's going to be certain individuals that worship Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, B'Shem Rachak Kodash in spirit and truth. That's why we add the Rachak Kodash at the end. Okay? Verse 24 is going to show you the selection that Yahweh is like, yo, but I'm a pick. You see? Go ahead.
The Most High is a spirit.
Actually reread it for edification.
This is John 4 verse 23. But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeketh such to worship him. Verse 24, the Most High is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth.
That's a selection. He seeketh the ones that worship him in spirit and truth. The Most High made a selection. Okay? Same thing Nebuchadnezzar, that the Most High put the spirit on Nebuchadnezzar to make a selection out of Israel to pick the most prominent. All right? Which prominent goes to the word foremost. Okay? Which foremost means first of all. All right? So go ahead. Picking the cream of the crop, baby. See? That's these prophets down the street in New York, in LA, in Dallas, so on and so forth. These are the creme de la creme, the cream of the crop.
The elect.
The elect. They were elected to do the bidding. You don't see these other Israelites out here doing it.
First fruits.
First fruits, the water, brother. Okay, go ahead.
Somebody got to be
Daniel 1 and verse 4. Children in whom was no blemish,
No blemish.
but
That's
well favored.
That's spiritual. That's Revelation 14 and 4. That's the virgins.
We got to
right?
say that.
Mentally, spiritually, virgins. Okay?
Yeah.
Because in that word, I think that word in virgins in Revelation 14 and 4 is Parthenos. So it means they're not spiritually defiled. Okay? They weren't in the lot of Titus 1 and 15 toward the end of that verse where it says defiled. The unbelieving, their own conscience is defiled. No, they saw that the pure and all things are pure. All right, go ahead. And that's who Nebuchadnezzar picked. The ones who saw the purity. And Yahweh Bashim. Go ahead.
John.
You know what? When you think about it, for you to take somebody's morality, it's kind of like molesting.
Yeah.
You know, that's why it was like such a strong aggression, so to speak, or it was a strong achievement for certain kings to make certain men crack. Because if you were to crack somebody's soul, it's a form of molestation.
Yeah.
What they call it, like mind fucking. And when you actually take somebody, like if somebody's into Islam and you coerce them to eat pork, they basically can't live with themselves at that point. You basically don't molest them, man.
Like prison with rape.
Yeah, it's like prison rape.
You said they'll basically want to kill themselves or whatnot because you're making them. Look at the Maccabees.
Yeah.
It was Sabbath. I ain't about to fight. I'm not about to fight. So they just got massacred and slaughtered without fighting back because they didn't want to compromise their integrity. That's simple. All right, keep going.
Verse 4. Children in whom was no blemish, but well favored and skillful in all wisdom.
See, that goes to show you that the three holy children of Daniel were very inclined.
At that point, it was like
very
nations
very inclined in the spirit too. Go ahead.
Sabbath made for man.
Continue, it says, in cunning and knowledge,
Cunning and knowledge, baby.
in understanding science, and such as had ability in them to stand in the king's palace.
And see, through their knowledge and understanding of astrology, science, biology, languages, all these, they have the opportunity to stand before the king. Go ahead.
In whom they might teach the learning and the tongue of the Chaldeans.
And the tongue of the Chaldeans, because getting these well-inclined individuals, they will obviously be good to, their retainability will be good. They will be easy to teach. See, that's why they picked them. Now go back to the fiery furnace. Still got the prayer Azariah. Go ahead.
God. This is
Salaki.
Daniel 3 in verse
Because it was Azariah. Go ahead.
in verse 17.
19.
God, 19. There was Nebuchadnezzar full of fury in the form of his visage.
Let me see.
Visage.
In a,
It was him and
visage.
Visage was changed against Shadrach.
Yep. Shadrach.
Yeah, Khan. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Therefore he spake and commanded that they should heat the furnace 17 times more than it was once to be heated.
Nebuchadnezzar being a real asshole.
Nigga.
He being a real asshole. It was already burning hot. Then he heated up 7 times more. Heated up 7 times more. And again, he said heated up 7 times more. So the Spirit of the Lord told him to do that, tipping off the word 7 times.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Just to show his power.
The Lord loved to put a show on.
The
man.
Lord was like, man, that ain't hot enough, man. Put the smack Nebuchadnezzar.
Just like Elijah with the altar.
Yep.
When he poured blood all over it, and he had it all wet, and he called down fire, and that altar lit on fire. It wasn't enough that it was a pile of wood, and it got on fire. No, we gotta soak it, make it real wet.
Yeah. Against the prophets of Baal.
Exactly.
Then he slaughtered them.
Yep.
And that furnace was at its full completion, man.
That's right.
Couldn't get no hotter.
Couldn't get no.
Shit, that's the fire. Hey, through the Spirit, that might be that could be likened unto the fire of getting out of this these thermonuclear fire here.
Well, it is. It is like another.
It is. Because we're going to read it because I'm going to give a hint for today. Usually nuclear or atomic, whatever, them goddamn bombs coming over here, they usually blow up before they hit the ground, right? Just that explosion right there is going to disintegrate people.
Yeah.
Just right there, before it actually, comes to the ground and does its thing.
Yeah.
All right, it's the same thing that happened right here. So keep reading.
John, verse 20, and he commanded the most mighty men that were in his army.
The most mighty men, so you can imagine if they're probably 8 million feet tall, looking like Kimbo slices.
600-pound men.
600-pound pure muscle. Go ahead.
Pure muscle.
To bind
Sidewalk crackers.
Shadrach,
Meshach, and Abednego.
So, come on, man. Excessive. Bro, excessive.
Yes.
Just like when, what was it? When Peter went to jail. No, I think it was Paul. One or two. They had to have like 12, whatever, how many troops.
I think it was Paul.
I think it was Paul. Take him to
scared of
jail.
Paul.
It's like, man, what am I about to do?
They were
man?
scared of Paul.
What am I about to do? Even though he could do something in spirit.
Yep.
But you see what I'm saying?
They gonna send the army at us.
Excessive. Look what they did with look what they did to Yahweh Shai.
They gonna send They gonna send Paul the mall cart to go pick us up.
John, it says, and to cast them into the burning furnace, fiery furnace.
Fiery furnace, go ahead.
Then these men were bound in their coats, their hosen,
Keep going.
and their hats, and their garments, their other garments, like you, and were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Therefore, because the king's commandment was urgent, and the furnace exceedingly hot, the flame of the fire slew those men that took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Okay, so them mighty men that came, 8 million feet tall, 5 million pounds. Yeah, I'm being very exaggerated,
But you can do that, brother.
Imagine Brock Lesnar's times 50. Okay? Imagine that. Not Hulk from the end game. Okay? He was a punk ass. Okay? A whole bunch of Thanoses.
He's giving a sense.
Carrying these men to the fiery furnace. Okay? And the flame of that furnace killed them mighty men. Go ahead.
Verse.
Is that end of that verse? Keep going.
Verse 22. Therefore, because the king's commandment was urgent, and the furnace exceedingly hot, the flame of the fire slew those men that took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
They did. Go ahead.
And these 3 men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down, bound, into the midst of the burning fiery furnace.
All the way down the furnace. Strapped up, whatever. Okay? But remember what they said in what verse was that? 17? So be it. If I gotta do this, if I gotta burn, so be it. So be it. Okay? Go ahead.
Verse 24, then Nebuchadnezzar, the king, was astonished. Well, it's like it.
What?
Astound.
Or, yeah, you can say astound, which is like astonished. What the? Go ahead.
And rose up in haste and spake.
He was amazed. I think the word or he was amused. The word amused means to divert someone's attention to. Okay, go ahead.
He was in haste. He was
He was like, what?
amped up, probably, you know, adrenaline pumping.
Well, no, he was more so like, what's
He was
going
surprised,
Yeah,
really.
he was surprised, yeah,
what
kinda.
the heck is going on?
He was surprised because
he wouldn't be all pumped up and stuff. He would be pumped up if they were burning and
I
dying.
didn't say it like that.
Yeah, but go ahead.
And spake and said unto his counselors, counselors, yeah, the water.
Come on, bro.
Did not we cast 3 men bound into the midst of the fire?
Did we not throw them in the fire?
It's a plot twist.
Go ahead.
They answered and said unto the king, True, O
Yeah,
king.
man. We did. Go ahead.
He answered and said, Lo, I see 4 men loose.
4 men. Woo. Go ahead.
Walking,
I know we don't, but he asked, we put 3 of them in there. Why am I counting 1? I know my ABCs and my 1, 2, 3s. Why am I counting 4?
Yeah, so to those Old Testament
Bible thumpers.
Bible thumpers, who's the 4th?
Who's the 4th?
Is it Elijah?
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Is it King
he
David?
answered and said, Lo, I see 4 men loose, walking in the midst of the fire,
Just walking about, chilling, baby. Go ahead.
and they have no hurt.
Nothing.
In the form of the 4th,
Usually when people get burned alive, you hear a loud, deafening scream.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
the form of the 4th is like the Son of Man. It's like the Son of Yahweh.
There you go. To your Bible thumpers.
Oh, who's the son of the Most High?
Who's the Son of the Most High? And how about you read the New Testament? Simple. Keep going.
Then Nebuchadnezzar came near to the mouth of the burning fiery furnace and spake and said, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, ye servants of the Most High Power, come forth
Come forth. Go on.
and come hither. Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came forth of the midst of the fire. And the princes, governors, and captains, and the king's counselors, being gathered together, saw these men, upon whose bodies the fire had no power,
No power. Go ahead.
nor was an hair of their head signed. Neither were their coats changed, nor the smell of fire had passed on them.
So stop right there. So pretty much nothing was touched. Because what? So I said I was going to land back off of Ibad Barzal. Ibad Barzal said because of the faith. He's speaking about the faith. Okay? Because they had faith in their power. They didn't want to defile this off. They didn't want to defile themselves. Okay? They want to keep their morals. They wanted to keep their integrity. Okay? That's why they didn't get touched, baby. because they kept the faith, man. So you can drop that. And with that, we're gonna go ahead and get the 3 holy children.
Can I bring out one real quick for you?
Go ahead.
This is Ecclesiasticus 2
No, start at 4.
and 5. And it says, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity.
That's right. Acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. And those 3 men were acceptable. And actually they were chosen to show the Most High's power. And to show if you have faith in the Most High that you won't be touched. What's that, Psalm 91 or 92, I want to say? I think it's 91. 1,000 shall fall, right hand.
Yeah, Psalm 91.
10,000. I'm paraphrasing, but it shall nigh come unto you.
Psalm 91
because
and
you have
10.
faith. Because you have faith. What that precept? Go ahead and get a 3 holy children real quick. Because now that happened, what we gonna do after that happens? What did Peter do? What did Paul do? They praised the Lord. All right, so go ahead. Start at 1.
All right, this is the son of the 3 holy children. I'm gonna this is verse 1. And they walked in the midst of the fire, praising the Most High and blessing the Lord.
There you go. That's why you see a 4th individual in there with them. Because they calling on the name. All right, go ahead.
Then Azarias stood up and prayed on this manner, and opening his mouth in the midst of the fire said,
hey, you see? So the Lord, he deals with order too. He selected 1 man to do this. And it so happened to be Azariah. Matter of fact, I know it says Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Let's go back to the 1st chapter And we're going to let the Bible speak on who each one of those individuals were. Let me see it real quick. I did too, just to give you right to it. Okay? I think it's in the first chapter. It's Hananiah, Mishael, Azariah. Go. Let's see. Salaki, bear with me.
Looking around like Daniel too.
Yeah, I'm with Daniel too. Daniel was called Belteshazzar or Shazar or something like that.
Yes,
I just want to get the 3 names of the other men. Salaki. Sorry. It's alright. Don't worry about it.
Spirit power.
Go ahead. Just spirit building. Just look for it. Go ahead.
All right, this is song of the 3 children. Verse 1, and they walked in the midst of the fire, praising the Most High and blessing the Lord.
That's right.
Then Azariah stood up and
Spirit jumped on Azariah. Go ahead.
and prayed on this manner, and opening his mouth in the midst of the fire said, Blessed art thou, O Lord, Yahweh of our fathers. Thy name is worthy to be praised and glorified forevermore.
This is inside the fiery furnace. This is probably during when Nebuchadnezzar was like, man, did we see deliberating amongst his eunuchs and his princes at the time? Okay, go ahead and get it.
I believe this is it. This is Daniel 1 and verse 17. As for these 4 children, the Most High gave them knowledge and skill and all learning and wisdom, and Daniel had understanding and all visions and dreams. Now at the end of the days that the king had said he should bring them in, then the prince of the eunuchs brought them in before Nebuchadnezzar, and the king communed with them.
Oh, there it is. Give verse.
Oh, right.
Give verse 6.
Okay, come. Verse 6. Now among these were the children of Judah, Daniel. I got them in spaces.
Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah.
Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, unto whom the prince of the eunuchs gave names.
Yeah.
For he gave unto Daniel the name of
Belteshazzar.
Belteshazzar, and unto Hananiah of Shadrach, and
So now we know that Shadrach was Hananiah. Go ahead.
and to Mishael
Mishael.
of Meshach,
He was Meshach. Go ahead.
and to Azariah of Abednego.
See? So this is when you read in Daniel the 3rd chapter, Abednego is saying this prayer, which is Azariah. All right, so keep going.
All right. This is song of the 3 children. Verse 3, Blessed art thou, O Lord God of our fathers. Thy name is worthy to be praised and glorified forevermore.
That's right.
For thou art righteous in all the things that thou hast done to us. Yea, true are all thy works.
See? He's recognizing Yahweh Bashim Shai's righteousness. Matthew 6 and 33. Go ahead, bro. All right? Because we are to do the same thing. It's good to go through this book. It's good to go through this prayer, man. Also, it's good to go through the prayer of Manasseh. All right? Because the prayer of Manasseh shows the Lord's infinite mercies. Okay? Because what King Manasseh was doing was sacrificing his kids unto Molech. That's a clear no when you read the law. It says he tells you not to patch your children over the fire. Okay? And that's what Manasseh did. And then on top of that, he erected back all the other false idols and things. Okay? So he had that prayer, and guess what? When you read about Manasseh, he died at an old age. The Lord had mercy on him. He didn't kill him. Okay, he's probably went in his next life and got judged for it, but he died in an old age. Okay? So go ahead. Matthew 6 and 33.
This is Matthew's.
Because Azariah or Abednego recognized the Lord's righteousness. Go ahead.
This is Matthew 6 and verse 33. But seek ye the kingdom of the Most High.
Yep.
Seek ye first the kingdom of the Most High and his righteousness.
There you go. Seek ye the kingdom of the Most High in his righteousness. Tazadak. That's how you say it in Hebrew, which means righteous or just. Okay, because he's a just power.
Yep.
According to hold that, get Romans 2 and 6. All right, I'm just gonna let the scripture speak. He's a just power, so go ahead. Romans 2 and 6.
Yeah,
This is Romans 2 and verse 6. Who will render to every man according to his deeds?
Is that just? Is that fair? Hell yeah. Okay, so go back to Matthew 6 and 33.
Matthew 6 and 33. But seek ye first the kingdom of the Most High and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you.
All these things shall be added unto you. And what was added unto the three holy children? Salvation from the fiery furnace. Deliverance. Okay? Because the deliverer was in there with them, walking around. Keep going, brother. What verse you on? Okay, go ahead.
Thy ways are right, and all thy judgments true. In all the things that thou hast brought upon us and upon the holy city of our fathers, even Jerusalem.
That's right. Skip down to verse 27.
This is song of the three children, verse 27. And made the midst of the furnace as it had been a moist whistling wind, so that the fire touched them not at all.
Not at all.
Neither hurt nor troubled them.
Yeah, that's how I felt in it. Like, dang, the Lord made it like fire feel like water.
Like a breeze, man.
Yeah.
You know, you ever had one of them little fans with the
Yeah, like a Six Flags.
Yeah. Little squirt fan.
They was chilling in there, real talk. Just like Daniel was chilling in the lion's den. He was Daniel was probably laying his head on the lion, petting him, like Winston,
Wrestling with him.
like Winston B. Yeah, they know what I'm talking about. Winston B chilling with me. You see? That's my dog, man.
Rolling on his back.
On like Tarzan back in the day with that big elephant.
Yep.
With that big log.
Hey,
Daniel was eating too.
Daniel was eating. I was just about to mention that because the Bell and the Dragon with Habakkuk. Habakkuk got translated or he teleported, okay, over to Daniel and teleported his ass back to where he was. What makes it?
Translated.
Imaginations. You know, imagine we have imagination for children again. When children become a broad imagination, they believe in those things, right? Hey, you never know. The Lord could have brought Habakkuk over to Daniel and give him something to eat. In them hungry ass lions. I'm speaking as a man, okay? So go ahead.
Lord can take the spirit of hunger out of you.
This is song of the three children, verse 27, and made the midst of the furnace as it had been a moist whistling wind, so that the fire touched them not at all, neither hurt nor trouble.
What's that one song?
Y'all have the desire.
That was them in the furnace, man. That was in Honolulu, man.
It's not doing you fasting.
Go ahead, bro.
Then the three, as out of one mouth, praised, glorified, and blessed the Most High in the furnace, saying, Blessed art thou, O Lord, God of our fathers, and to be praised and exalted above all forever. And blessed is thy glorious and holy name, and to be praised and exalted above all in the temple of thy holy glory, and to be praised and glorified above all forever. Blessed art thou that beholdest the depths and sittest upon the cherubims, and to be praised and exalted above all forever. Blessed art thou on the glorious throne of thy kingdom, and to be praised and glorified above all forever.
Skip down to verse 44.
All right, verse 44. O ye fire, heat. So like, O ye fire and heat, bless ye the Lord, praise and exalt him above all forever. O ye winter and summer, bless ye the Lord, praise and exalt him all above all forever.
That's right.
Praise the Lord while we was in the fire.
Come on, baby.
They weren't even thinking about the fire.
Don't even think about the fire. No, hold it. Get Job 37. Because it said what? The fire and you're talking about the snow?
I can't imagine being in fire like
Get Job 37 real quick. Let's start at 1. Get Job 37:1.
Be cooking on the grill and be like this.
That's right. That's right. You go look this on.
Bake your chicken, open up the oven, be like, shit. And they be like, why there's no, shit? And then you can do about it, nigga. And shit, and then you can do about it, nigga. And shit, hit you.
Is that Joe?
You gotta feel it.
Start at 1.
Okay. Sometimes you know, because you got hair in your face.
This goes
heat
to
with
show
your face,
forth
you
the
smell your
power.
hairs. But
We give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Just like these men right here did, because they got deliverance from the okay? That was their test. That was their moment, you could say. That was their moment. And they didn't falter in their moment.
And they became gods because of that.
There you go. They became-
Until this very day, we talk about them. We give them glory. The scriptures speak about what? Was that Sirach 40 about praise ye, O great men?
yeah, 43.
Is
Yeah,
that 44?
43. Yeah. It started, it's 43 and 44.
See? That's what we're
Let's not
things
praise
written 4 times,
famous
written for our
men,
learning.
great men. That was my favorite chapter.
Get you can drop
Scores
Holy
to go
Children
through the
and get Sirach 39:1.
Faith and all that.
Because it tells you to go back to the ancient.
Let me show you how.
That's the ancient to us. You see what I'm
Let me
saying?
show you how Abraham and Jacob.
Go ahead and get that. You were in chapter 37.
This is Ecclesiasticus of Sirach 39 verse 1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High and is occupied in the meditation thereof will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient and be occupied in prophecy.
That's the back. That's the back. Shar Abba, when he said that, yay, we recognize these men. We recognize these men because what these men went through, we're gonna go through the accumulation of what they went through too. Coming soon. We already do.
Some of us are here. Those.
You see? So, hey, we should stand back in our lots.
They're back again.
According to the book of Daniel 12 and according to the book of Corinthians. All right? We all gonna come back in our rightful places.
I'm back.
All right? Ain't nothing changed. Ain't nothing changed. Ain't nothing new under the sun.
They're back again.
Same thing. If you was a F Negro, for a lack of better words, if you were one of them, you're gonna be one of them again. Okay? If you were a prophet, you're gonna be one of them again. All right? If you was a righteous individual, you're gonna be one of them again.
Warrior.
Get Revelation 22 and 11. Let me stop talking. Just get the scriptures on. All right? Let me stop talking. Because this is you can apply this to a reincarnation type scripture. All right? Because if you're filthy still, you're gonna be filthy still in your next life. Go ahead.
This is Revelations 22 and verse 11. He that is unjust, let him be unjust still.
Yes.
And he which is filthy, let him be filthy still. And he that is righteous, let him be righteous still.
Yes.
And he that is holy, let him be holy still.
Now, doesn't the scripture say that Yahweh Bashem Yahushua doesn't change? So what makes you think he'll change a lot? And you better be praying and hoping you was a prophet. And you probably wouldn't know until you got the truth. But, you know,
Hey, because
you know what I'm saying?
at this point, it's either you are a prophet or you're a false prophet.
Exactly. Hey, and the point to come,
At this point.
and the point to come is either you gonna believe or not believe.
If
It's one or the other, baby. It's gonna be very distinguished. Very, very.
You're the elect,
The
or you're not the
distinguishment is
elect.
gonna get very potent.
foolish virgin or
It's
wise
gonna get
virgin.
very obvious. Go ahead, man.
And I tell you what, it's a lot of
Receiving
foolish
the truth
versions.
now,
boy.
you know, receiving the truth. It's either you're a part of the elect or you're gonna receive more stripes, you know, a greater judgment than somebody that's in the world, you know, just doing wickedness.
All right. So go. Yeah. Finish 39.
This is Sirach, Ecclesiasticus 39 verse 1. But he that giveth his mind to the law or the Most High and is occupied in the meditation thereof will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient and be occupied in prophecies.
And be occupied in prophecies. But again, going back to Shar Abba, he said that we look to these men. All right, we read about these men. Okay, that's the ancient. That's going back to the ancient. It's a wise thing to do that. Get Sirach 1:1. It's a wise thing to do that. Get James 1:5. And then we'll get Job 37. Yeah, Sirach 1:1.
This is Ecclesiasticus of Sirach 1 verse 1. All wisdom coming from the Lord and is with him forever.
Hold that. Get James. Reread it.
Sorry, this is Ecclesiastes of Sirach 1 verse 1. All wisdom coming from the Lord and is with him forever.
Yeah, exactly. It's with him forever. Okay? So in order to obtain that wisdom, who you gotta go to? Who you gotta, is that how the song goes? Who you gotta run to? Or something
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
escape.
You know? But that's on a serious note, who you gotta go to? The one who has it. If I got water and you don't, who you gonna have to run to? Me.
Waterman, yeah, that's me.
Cool ass nigga. You know? You gotta go, exactly. You gotta go to the supply. What Jake like to say, the plug.
Yeah, that's me.
You see what I'm saying? Read verse 1 and 2.
This is Ecclesiastes or Sirach 1 verse 2. Who can number the sand of the sea and the drops of rain and the days of eternity?
This is showing the power of the Lord too. Get James 1 and 5. The drops of rain. Hey, yeah, the drops of rain. Just like the scriptures say in the book of Sirach, who can number the days of eternity? It's like a 1,000 years to eternity is like a drop of water in the sea. That's what the scriptures say.
Yeah.
You can't count that.
Yeah.
It's just infinite, baby. All right, let's do it, baby.
James 1 and verse 5. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of the Most High, that giveth to all men liberally.
If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of the Most High. So what is that, James? He didn't say it verbatim, but what is he saying to you? Pray. How else you gonna ask the Lord? Hey, yo, no. Get on your hands and knees, lay flat on the ground. Burn your incense, burn your sage, put on your oils, do what you need to do, all right? Sanctify yourself, make yourself clean, and go to the Lord and pray in all humility and sincerity in spirit and truth, and he'll hear you. Go ahead. That's how you ask.
And you gotta earn it.
You gotta earn it. Hey, Bishop Atazawon told me the other day, in order to receive your blessings, you gotta sacrifice something. You gotta sacrifice something. That goes all the way back when you're reading in the Levitical laws. You gotta sacrifice something. You gotta put something on that altar.
I was going to dim.
Go. Hey, you want me to give you this? Well, what you gonna give me?
Damn.
Well, in this case, we're giving ourselves as a living sacrifice. We ain't got nothing else to give. He looking at it, the Lord looking at us. Y'all done fucked up for this long. What you really gonna give me?
You might have to lose your job, your family.
Lose it all.
Lose it all. You might have to lose it all in the pursuit of wisdom.
It's me.
Because it's a journey.
Say when my mother and father have forsaken me, then the Lord will bring me up.
There you go.
Yep, that's in Job.
You see? Yep. Hey, you said when my mother and father forsaken me?
Yeah,
Well, hey, guess what? Well, Yahweh Shai said, anyone who loved their father and mother more than me is not worthy of me. You see? All right. So go ahead.
James 1 and verse 5. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of the Most High, that giveth to all men liberally.
Liberally, meaning freely. Okay? Go ahead.
And upbraideth not.
And upbraideth not, meaning it's confidential. All right? Meaning you won't talk behind your back, saying, look, he asked you.
Yeah, talk.
Because you know what Matthew, was that Matthew the 5th chapter? No, Matthew the 6th chapter.
Yep.
When thy prayers go into in your closet, and whatever you ask for, he shall give it out in the midst of the people, roughly paraphrasing. So like how you said, like, really, if you need or you lack things, you got the password, you got you got the name. So it's like you could go in and type the password and download, but like you said, it comes with a cost, man.
It comes with a cost, just like the Matrix.
Yep.
They just downloaded them little fighting moves in. Just
Our password is your how about Shimmy, I was
there you go. That's it. That's it on that, bro.
What is the code?
Read richness. I mean, not really code.
This is Ecclesiastes of Sirach 1 verse 1. All wisdom coming from the Lord and is with him forever.
That's right. So if you need anything, go to the Lord first, because everything,
And they had different types.
everything that's here, wisdom, knowledge, understanding, all characteristics, being living, being angry, being mad, being joyful, being happy, being annoying, being moody, being whatever. All those things were created by the Lord, okay? He has all those attributes. So if you need one of those attributes or characteristics, you gotta go to him first. You pray to him, fast, do what you need to do, and he will give it to you through a situation. He'll give it to you through a situation. you need the wisdom, he'll give you the wisdom through a brother to teach you the experiences that he went through that you're going through now. That's how you gain your wisdom. And then you go through your experience and you gain your wisdom. See, he gives it to you. He ain't gonna get off his throne and be like,
That's a real.
this is how you do it. No, man. I'm gonna get him to do it, you know. I always say this analogy. If you're a king, right, and you rule over a certain sect or a province or whatever, okay, and one of your princes come up to you, or counselors, whoever, of course they're below you, come up to you and be like, King, my sire, my lord, okay, the people need corn. You think I'm about to get off, you think the king's about to get off his chair? Cool. I'm gonna start tilling the land. You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna start tilling, I'm gonna plant the seed. You know, he's gonna do it. No, the king is gonna designate somebody. Okay, y'all need corn? Bet. You go get the seeds.
Yeah.
All right, after they get the seeds, you go till the ground. You go plant them. Okay. After they get planted, they do a little thing, they sprout, whatever. Okay, now you go pick it, and then give it to these people, to disperse them to the people, and then who gets the credit? Because who came up with the idea?
Yeah, it's like a business where, think about it, if you're a business owner, let's just say you own a restaurant, and you're a business owner, and you spend majority of your time in the kitchen cooking, then you are lacking handling paperwork, handling the front of the house, the budget. You got your mind is more valuable doing something else than being in the kitchen, like a moving company. Yeah, if you own a moving company, you got to make sure jobs is coming in. You can't just be in the back. You can't be on the truck with two other big brute jakes picking up couches and shit, man.
You can't.
Your business gonna go out of business quick.
That's why you see.
You might start off at
that's
the bottom.
That's why you see the word LORD in Genesis chapter 2. Okay,
That's it. Yep.
Prove a point. Get Sirach 24 and start at 1. Okay.
That's right. That's beautiful.
Because we're gonna show how the Lord He don't get off His throne. He don't need to. He made things to do things for him, man. He don't need to.
Got
What do I need to get off it? What do I need to get off my throne to teach you wisdom for?
It's worshiping.
What do I gotta send Yahweh Shai, an angel, anything?
I'm going to more water.
I'm gonna send all of them to teach you wisdom.
All Levites.
You see what I'm saying? I ain't gotta manifest the angel in front of your face to teach you wisdom. I got your physical angels right here to teach you. Okay? This is Sirach 24:1.
This is Ecclesiastes of Sirach 24 verse 1. Wisdom shall praise herself and shall glory in the midst of her people.
That's right.
In the congregation of
He said glory in the midst of her people. So if wisdom is the midst of the people, that means a man has the wisdom.
Right. I see.
So where you gonna get your wisdom from, man? Go ahead.
In the congregation of the Most High shall she open her mouth and triumph before his power.
And triumph before his power. Go ahead.
I came out of the mouth of the Most High.
I came out of the mouth of the Most High. Sirach 1:1. Go ahead.
It's like those bees.
Yep.
And covered the earth as a cloud.
And covered the earth as a cloud. Let's go all the way back to Genesis. First chapter, go ahead.
I dwelt in high places.
I dwelt in high places, go ahead.
And my throne is in a cloudy pillar.
And my throne is in a cloudy pillar, go ahead.
I alone compass the circuit of heaven.
That's right.
And walk in the bottom of the deep.
That's right. It's still going back to the book of Genesis, go ahead.
In the waves of the sea and in all the earth and in every people and nation.
Come on, baby.
I got a possession.
I got a possession, go ahead.
With all these I sought rest.
That's right.
And in whose inheritance shall I abide?
All right, that's rhetorical because you're going to answer it for you. Go ahead.
So the creator of all things.
That's the point. So the creator of all things, go ahead.
Gave me a commandment.
All right. So the creator of all things gave me a commandment. You can link this up with Colossians, the first chapter.
Yeah.
You can link this up with what else?
Colossians, the second chapter.
Colossians, the second chapter, the preeminence of the Lord is spoken about in the first chapter. Like the brother said, Colossians, the second chapter.
Creator of the invisible and the visible.
Visible, that's the first chapter.
That's first chapter.
John, the first chapter. You can link it up with these things.
Hebrews 1:1.
That's all I was thinking.
Hebrews, the first chapter. You can link it up with all these things because Hebrews, the first chapter, and the whole book of Colossians dumps that Gnosticism mentality, way of thinking, which is like worshiping the angel, which you should be worshiping Yahweh Shai, who created the angel.
That's right.
The angel is a creation. Okay? So he said the creator of all things gave me a commandment.
That's right.
Go ahead.
And he that made me caused my tabernacle to rest and said, let thy dwelling be in Jacob. What? Let thy dwelling be in Jacob
Go ahead.
and thy inheritance in Israel.
So forget anybody who say, the Most High deals with everybody. And he loves everybody. It's a selection, baby. It's a selection. And he only chose Jacob, which is Israel.
Hey, well, it said that the other nations had their portion of it.
Okay.
They got their guys and they understanding, but when it comes down to the truth, it resting in Jacob.
Resting in Jacob.
The Lord said in 2nd Ezra, he picked one grape from a cluster.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Hey, you gotta think. Ham had Dagon. Those little Philistines had Dagon. What, the Moabites, the Ammonites, whatever, have Molech.
Yeah, Molech and Chemosh.
And all that. Well, we got Yahweh Shai. All right? We got Yahweh Shai. That's our power.
Even those other nations in their right mind knew that our power was the power of all powers.
That's right.
Yeah,
Like how you say with Dagon, was that second Samuel 6?
First Samuel 6.
1 Samuel 6, where they tried to put the Ark of the Covenant next to Dagon.
Mm-hmm.
And every day they went in there, they got knocked over till it was just a stump. It was a stump. It was no
fucked up.
no arms and legs and nothing. It was just a big stump.
Fucked up.
And then they sent it back. And the Lord gave them hemorrhoids.
Mm-hmm.
So even the other nations had an idea that, nah, the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, that's the power.
Yep. Hey, Rahab knew.
Yeah, Rahab, but she was scared for her fucking life.
For real.
Hey, spies told her, look, if we don't see that red scarlet thread in that window, you through.
Hell yeah, you done. All right? Go ahead, bro.
I'll tell you, this is Ecclesiasticus on Sirach 24:9. He created me from the beginning, before the world,
That's Yahweh Shai.
and I shall never fail.
And I shall never fail. So our power shall. All right? So get Job 37. Let's go that wisdom.
God, this is Job 37 and verse 1.
Go ahead, bro.
Oh, selection.
I'm messing with you. Go ahead. Read loud. Yeah, go ahead. Spare not.
At this also my heart trembleth and is moved out of his place. Hear attentively the noise of his voice and the sound that goeth out of his mouth.
Hey, it says, hear attentively the noise of his voice and the sound that goes out of his mouth. Get Luke 21:33. I think it's 21. Maybe see what that says. All right, reread that verse.
Comes Job 37 and verse 1. At this also my heart trembleth and is moved out of his place. Hear attentively the noise of his voice and the Lord's sound that goeth out of his mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes
it says here the word. It says you read that part. It's a lot.
Verse 2. Hear attentively the noise of his voice and the sound that goeth out of his mouth.
Yeah, all right. So hear attentively the noise that comes out of his mouth, the sound that comes out of his mouth. Okay, what's the noise and sound? It's the word. Okay, so get Luke 21 and 33.
This is Luke 21 verse 33. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away.
But my words shall not pass away. So what do we give heed to? The words of Yahweh Shai. All right, John 14, baby. Say, I'll leave you a cup. Get John 14 and 26. Get John 14 and 26. Because it said, heaven and earth pass away, but my words, they ain't gonna pass away. Okay? Meaning they here to abide forever. So when Job 36, he got it. Stay at Job. When you read Job 37, it tells you to hear attentively. That's what he. All right. When you go into the word attentively, you get the word consider. The word consider means to view attentively, meaning to pay attention, to not be negligent of. That's what the word consider means. So it's telling Job right here to consider the voice and the noise that comes out of the Lord's mouth. All right? And that noise and voice that comes out of his mouth is this word that never passes away. Hear what I call.
Now, this is John 14, verse 26. But the Comforter, which is the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, he shall teach you all things.
And how is he going to teach you? By the word of truth, which is this book right here. Okay? Get Romans 10 and 17 real quick. All right? Because how are we going to get this? Through the words, baby. I'm personal testimony. This is a personal testimony. Yeah, I used to be in the military, Air Force to be specific. All right? I was walking to the chow hall, and I got a call from my best friend at the time, who is now my brother that I realized, the brother Tazamal down in Dallas. I got a call. Bro, I told him about Yahweh Shemiah Shai. Bro, you need to get out the military because the missiles coming. Then, lo and behold, guess what he did? Hold on, bro. Beep, 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 beep. The brother Sha'ar down in Dallas got on three-way with me, and they started going in on me. I'm talking about, what you doing? I'm like, but how did I get the faith? How did I get the faith?
That's right.
Read Romans 10 and 17.
This is Romans 10 and verse 17. So then faith cometh by hearing, and by hearing, and hearing by the word of the Most High.
Read it again.
This is Romans 10 and verse 17. So then faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of the Most High.
I heard it.
No, you didn't hear it. You understood.
I understand it. The water showed. The water.
Hey, I was going to say, he that has ears to hear, let him hear. That means to understand.
Yep. That's Shema.
Yeah. Salaki, I understood.
Shema is hearing and understanding.
Call Allah Yahweh Shemiah Shai. But you get the understanding, like the brother said, the priest and the captain said, but you get that's the understanding through hearing the word that never passes away, that is here forever, that is the comforter, that is what? There's something that teaches you according to John 14 and 26. Is that it? I just want you to read John 14 and 26. Go ahead.
And bring all things to your remembrance.
Bring all things to your remembrance. You are bringing out the what? Book of Baruch.
Yep.
All right? Come back to our remembrance. Go ahead.
Whatsoever I have said unto you.
Whatsoever I have said unto you. Is that it on that? All right, go back to Job 37 and 2, because that clarifies listening to the voice of the Lord. Go ahead.
This is Job 37 and verse 2. Hear attentively the noise of his voice.
So consider the noise of his voice. Go ahead.
And the sound that goeth out of his mouth.
That's right. Go ahead.
He directeth it under the whole heaven, and his lightning unto the ends of the earth.
And his lightning to the ends of the earth. This is going to speak on the power of Yahweh. Okay. Also, you can read Job 40 and 41 to. It symbolizes the Lord's power as well, with Behemoth and Leviathan. Go ahead.
After it a voice roareth, he thundereth with the voice of his excellency.
Excellency, that's right.
And he will not stay them when his voice is heard.
Go ahead.
The Most High thundereth marvelously the water with his voice. Great things doeth he, which we cannot comprehend. Verse 5, the Most High thundereth marvelously with his voice. Great things doeth he, which we cannot comprehend. Verse 6, for he saith to the snow, be thou on earth, likewise to the small rain.
Oh, it said be thou to the snow, be thou on earth, likewise. Go back to 300 children.
Should they then put it on the movies? The dinosaurs always
go to 300 children.
regular people.
Right, hold that. Because, and go to verse 44.
All right, this is the three holy children, verse 44. O ye fire and heat, bless ye the Lord, praise and exalt him above all forever. Verse 45. O ye winter and summer, bless ye the Lord, praise and exalt him above all forever.
Exactly. So you winner, praise ye the Lord, man. Because you were created by the Lord.
God.
Reread what you just read with the snow.
This is Job 37 and verse 6. For he said to the snow, be thou on earth, likewise to the small rain.
He still commands it. He commands when the seasons come in. He commands, that's how you know there's a spirit with everything. Get Colossians 1st chapter. Get Colossians, because in all things consist. How shall he consist in all things? The spirit is in everything because he created it. There's a spirit in everything. The spirit in the wind.
30 precepts.
That's why, it moves. That's why trees grow. You know, insects interact with other, elements. Everything has a life in it.
These trees talk to each other through the root system.
Yep.
Giving out oxygen.
They show you in that. What was that one movie where the plants was killing them, making people bugged out?
The Happening?
The Happening.
The Happening.
I think it was The Happening.
It was The Happening.
Where that dude that he just laid under a lawnmower and just got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
But
bad
it was the
movie.
plants communicating.
Yeah, that's why they had to go all the way out.
It was
into the-
basically playing that defensive mechanism. But it was killing the earth.
There's the mist. Okay, the mist. They had had like the demons in there, but elements. A little wind was coming. Get John 3.
And you know how animals and plants live into?
John 3 and 8.
Venus flytraps. They actually eat insects. They close down and they actually drink the blood of them.
They break them down like how spiders break them down.
There's studies that show you if you they had a plant on one side and then the plant on the other side, and then the one plant they always was like, oh, you're so beautiful, we love you, we thank you, we need you, and the plant literally like kept life. The other one like, you piece of shit, fuck you. The tree just like they watered both the trees, but the one that they talked the shit to literally like withered away.
Damn. Yep. It's a spirit in it.
Hey, we're plants.
It's a living organism.
We're plants.
It's a living organism. It's a living organism.
Plants.
Get
John 3.
because like
Niggas
in
wanted
the
their plants
three holy
with
children,
Kool-Aid and
Azariah was telling everything to bless the Lord.
Kool-Aid.
Orange soda.
I bet he was like praying so hard. He had to stop and think. What did I miss? What did I miss? You ant. Bless the Lord. You better. The ant would probably send up 4 legs.
Bow his head.
Blessing the Lord. He goes, hey. Blessing the Lord, man. But I mean, all seriousness.
Yeah, seriously.
Hey, all seriousness. Hey, shoot. The ant is in the book of Proverbs. Go to the ant, thou sluggard. So the ants are praising the Lord. Yes, insects praise the Lord. The birds, the plants, the trees, the wind, all of them praise the Lord. Get John 3.
This is John 3 and verse 8.
I think it's, let me see. John 3. Yeah, 8. 3 and 8.
Come, this is John 3 and verse 8. The wind bloweth where it listeth, and thou hearest the sound thereof, but canst not tell whence it cometh, and whither it goeth. So is every one that is born of the Spirit.
So is everyone that's born of the Spirit. But that goes to show you that the Spirit is in the wind too. The scriptures say prophesying to the wind. Because the wind will carry our words. Because it's a messenger too. All right? Get Colossians where all things consist. You know what I mean? All right, let's see. Yes, 3:15.
This is Colossians 1 and 15. Who is the image of the invisible power, the firstborn of every creature?
How sharp. Go ahead.
Verse 16. For by him were all things created that are in heaven and that are in earth, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers. All things were created by him and for him. Verse 17, and he is before all things, and by him all things consist.
By all things consist. So his spirit is in every little thing, man. He's in your little cloak, little jacket, everything you could possibly think of, see, speak, touch, feel, look. I don't care. All your senses, your understanding, because that's a sense. According to the book of Sirach, everything is your house shot.
Yeah, Genesis 1 and 1.
Genesis 1 and 1.
Everything got created from element. That's why everything's sprayed up. Everything you see from the trees to the cars to the books we read, everything came from technology, everything came from the earth. Everything came from earth. Everything. Even us.
Even us. That's what I said, we plants.
Hey, get John 1 and 1. All right.
Well, plants come from
This
the
is
ground. We come from the
Colossians
ground.
3 and 17. And whatsoever you do
Sprouted up.
in word or deed, do all in the name of the Lord Yahweh Shai, giving thanks to the Most High and the Father by Him. So, like the brother was saying, the Spirit of the Lord is in all things. We glorify the Lord in whatever we do. That's why we give praise to Yahweh Shai. You know, and whatever we do, you know. As the scriptures say, we can do all things through Yahweh Shai. So we have the Spirit, you know, to overcome that because we are Yahweh Shai is the one who created all things through the inspiration of the Heavenly Father.
What verse were you at? Salaki, what verse was you please say?
Colossians 3 and 17.
Keep it.
Yeah, come on. All right. Verse 18. Wives, submit yourselves unto your.
Salaki, go to verse 22.
Yeah. All right.
Read your precept again.
This
And
is
then jump down to 20.
This is Colossians 3 and 17. And whatsoever ye do in word or deed, do all in the name of the Lord Yahweh Shai, giving thanks to the Most High and the Father by Him.
That's right.
I'm going to jump down to 23. And whatsoever ye do, do it heartily as to the Lord and not unto men.
That's right. Do it heartily unto the Lord and not unto me.
That's right.
So give all your glory, honor, and praises unto the Lord. You got a new job? Praise the Lord. All right. You got locked up for righteousness' sake? Praise the Lord. You got afflicted for righteousness' sake? Praise the Lord. You helped a brother out? Praise the Lord. You went to sleep? Praise the Lord. You woke up? Praise the Lord. You ate something? Praise the Lord. That's why we got the book of the holy children. That's what they did. Every little thing he could think of, he said, praise the Lord. Blessed be the Lord power. You see? Get John 1 and 1. Somebody give me John 1 and 1.
Bring it out.
This is John 1 and verse 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with the Most High, and the Word was the Most High.
Okay, so in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was... So when you read it, Salaki, so read it again.
John. James 1 and 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word...
What is it, Baal Rosh? All right, go ahead. So in the beginning was the Word.
God, and the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with the Most High.
All right, so the Word was with, in Genesis 1 and 1, that God in there would be Elohim. So when you read it right here, the Word was with the powers.
Oh, God, yeah.
All right, go
Hey,
ahead.
see, when you go into that, you gotta go back to
You gotta go
Genesis.
back. Get Genesis 1 and 1. The water, like God. Go ahead. No. We learn here. We edifying here. What is it? Edify. Charity. First Corinthians 8 and 1.
You know, at least 2 or 3 brothers.
I'm learning too, baby.
Gonna be 3.
We gonna learn together.
Yeah.
You gonna learn today?
Exactly. Iron sharpens iron. All right, go
We
ahead.
out here
And the Word,
So
we
we
get at
start.
least 3
God,
brothers
in the beginning was the Word,
speaking.
and the Word was with Elohim.
Go ahead, read 1 and 1.
This is Genesis 1 and 1.
Hey, if I can
Go ahead.
think about the scriptures.
Yeah.
You know, they'll play a song and in the middle of it they'll bring it all the way back. And the Most High is a DJ, man.
He is.
And we go up to the floor, like, oh, I gotta
Scratching.
go hard. Yeah.
Scratcher is like the precept upon precept.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta go hard, bring it back.
Tell the DJ bring it back.
Bring it all the way back. When you go to certain things in Revelation, you gotta go to Genesis, you gotta go forward, back, precept upon precept.
You gotta have your attitude right. You know, your own little like, yeah, son, where'd you find this?
You want to mix it?
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, man, mix it.
Edomite. To say it's strong. You know, go ahead.
Strong as shit. And that's why your mouth got taste.
You always be having
This is John 1 and verse 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with Elohim.
We're going to do this quick. I'm just going to break down this and then pass it over to pass it over to the priest. All right, so get John Genesis 1 and 1.
All right, Genesis 1 and 1. In the beginning, I'm gonna read it.
Verbatim, yeah.
All right, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth.
All right, simple. God created the heaven and the earth. When you go into that word, literally in the Hebrew, it will say Baha Ra'ash Elohim. All right, so in the beginning was the Elohim, or the powers. When you go into the word Elohim, it says powers, angels, divine ones. So even when it says that divine ones, that gives you an indication that the elect were in there too.
The judges.
The judges.
Genesis 2,
Let us. They are still Genesis 1.
Yeah,
1 and
Genesis
26. 1 and
26.
22.
Yeah,
Ashiya.
26.
All right.
Ashiya,
But just go back to John 1 and 1.
This is John 1 and verse 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with Elohim, and the Word was Elohim.
See, and the word was a power. Go ahead.
The same was in the beginning with powers.
All right. The same was in the beginning with the powers, the Elohim. And we understand that word God in Genesis 1 and 1, that includes the elect 144. Go ahead.
All things were made by Him,
Uh-huh.
and without Him was not anything made that was made.
That's right. And without him, not anything was made that was made. That's why we brought out the book of Colossians. Because all things consist, everything that consists, or everything that is here, that exists, is because of Yahushua, because he made it. But he made it with the powers of Elohim. And we pray to be in that John 1 and 1. We pray to be John 1 and 1, that word God right there. To be the elect that were with him when he created the earth.
Somebody read John 1 and 1.
So that's the preeminence of the Lord Yahushua.
Oh, yeah,
That's why we need him to get to be the ticket for us to get up out of here, man. With that, I'll pass it over to the priest Desire. Shalom.
Somebody read John 1 and 1. Why won't you read John 1 and 1? No, all right. That was beautiful preaching by the beautiful sermon by the brothers, beautiful preaching by the brothers. All right, but as everybody knows, we're in a time of this spiritual arc closing. Okay, we're in the time of basically how about closing everything in, tightening up, the bolts to the ark, making sure everything is stocked up spiritually, and of course all hands on deck. All right, multiple brothers in the past couple of days have gotten either their pages or certain videos blocked or removed. YouTube is now banning the different channels on YouTube that deal with the conspiracies, the truth. Truth is being attacked. As Esau always does from time to time. He's always attacking the truth. And he's getting more technical with it. He's getting more handy with that internet sword that he got.
That's right.
So, this is a serious time that we're living in. Prophecies are taking place, and a lot of exposure of America is going on in the world. So Esau doesn't want that, He doesn't want that attention on him. Okay? He doesn't want that attention on him. He wants to be able to glide into this new order under the radar as smooth as possible. Unscathed, but he's not going to. Okay? All right? The Heavenly Father has set up the prophets to come out here on the streets, all right, and bring out the information, okay, of the truth through the scriptures, okay? All right, can I get a Psalms 19 and 1? And it's the internet, okay? It's the internet. The internet is the vehicle that the Heavenly Father has been using for the past, going on 12 years now, okay? YouTube or these other, social media or video uploading sites to, and we're in the time of the end. Okay.
If I may say, because the scriptures say they brought up a taunting proverb against Esau. And that's why Esau is attacking the first, what is that, your right to your freedom of speech. Because it's going to get to a point where everybody's going to exercise their freedom of speech to curse out this goddamn devil, man.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, well, that's why this guy Jay Rockefeller said that it makes him wonder that the internet should have never been invented. You know, because what it's doing is putting a damper on the plans. You know how many times he wanted to push out the mark of the beast? He wanted to do it back when Obamacare came out, but because it was so much truth to what information that that we were putting out first and foremost through the scriptures, the prophecy, and what these other YouTubers were doing, they couldn't do it. It was like it just would have been too obvious.
Yeah, if I can say, like,
You know?
Dateline NBC had that report about microchipping back in 2007, I believe, and they said by 2017 they wanted a microchip, you know, the masses. Now it's 2019, so.
Yep.
Right. I got a quick one for you if you don't mind.
Yeah, come.
This is Job 5:12. And it says he disappointed the devices of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise.
Right. And what's what's the enterprise? Okay? The enterprise is Esau's so-called New World Order. All right? He has this agenda, and he has it set up in steps by years or decades. That by this time, 2018, they wanted currency, all world currency. All right, and that came out in 1988 in The Economist. The elites, the Rothschilds, they wanted a whole the Mero, other currency to be pushed out there amongst the people, along with the chip. So they've been had their agenda and their plan set up. But like the brother read, okay, the Lord disappointed the devices of the crafty. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 13, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the froward is carried headlong.
Right, meaning toppled over.
Yeah.
Okay, because when you take somebody's head off, they topple over, man. Meaning, starting at the very plans that you created, he takes within your own plans. Okay. Esau's not going to be able to establish the full fruition of his New World Order. He's only going to go step by step so far. Okay? And one of the last major prophecies to take place is the mark of the beast, is the microchip. Okay? And that's really what we're waiting for. I mean, we could talk about World War III all day, but it's not going to take place until the microchip is pushed out there. This economy and all that has to fall, that has to collapse, because there has to be a reason to go to war, okay? And the main reason that America will have to go to war, because they ain't got no money, okay? It's all about money, all right? So,
Big business.
Yep. War is big business, okay? But it's through the internet that all this truth is coming out. Oh, you got that scripture out? Psalm 19?
Yeah, this is Psalms 19:1. The heavens declare the glory of the Most High, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. Verse 2. Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge.
Right, day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge. Okay? That's not talking about a library. It's not talking about an MIT classroom. It's talking about the internet. Okay? Alright? Knowledge and information is being shared globally on a worldwide scale via the World Wide Web. Okay? And the best way to do that is through like an instant video sharing platform, such as YouTube. Okay? We're live now, but a brother in Australia or London can watch the video. Okay? So knowledge is shown in day and night. Okay, go ahead.
Real quick, this is Daniel 12:4. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased.
Right, knowledge shall be increased in the end. All right? That's why, hey, these shows like Black Mirror, that's why they're so captivating, because it's literally a visual into the world that is being created around us.
It's left-hand prophecy.
Right. It's left-hand side prophecy. Okay. Showing you, showing you the future of Esau's enterprise, what they want to do. Okay. So there's their agenda, and then there's the foil to their agenda, and that's the internet. That's the knowledge and the speech.
And then he said that, like Brad said in the spirit, when I was meditating on it last night, about directors. That's why you have directors and producers. The word produce is basically to push something forward. And to direct is somewhat the same thing. To direct is pushing something in the direction on. Because they get this inspiration, and they get these their influence of content from studies, and they see what's going to happen in the future, and then they'll build these scenarios, and then they'll put it on media. They get it, of course, they get the actors, the actresses, they'll put the theatrics, and they'll put all the, all the drama and the sound effects and all these things in the play to grab your attention.
Right.
But the message, it all boils down to where the content of this message spring from. What was the spark, or where did the seed come from? And it's a lot of times it's influenced by something in whether in the tech world, or something that's going on, or that these billionaires are working towards, and they got inside influence, and they'll make content pertaining to it.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. And that's how the different elites talk to each other. Because if we talk to each other openly through these videos, they talk to each other in secret through their movies and stuff.
Yeah.
Code words and things.
Symbols.
I'll go back to that, Isaiah 19.
All right, this is Psalms 19. I'll start from the top again. Psalms 19:1. The heavens declare the glory of the Most High, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge. Verse 3. There is no speech nor language where their voice is not heard.
Right, there's no speech or language where the voice is not heard. So you're going to hear the knowledge of the Lord, right? Because it's coming out of the Bible, right? The book of the Lord. So you're going to hear the knowledge and the words of the Lord in every language. Okay? Come, So that's what's going on now. Right? You see the prophets, you hear the prophets, and the elect is coming in at a rapid rate. So now what they want to do, oh look, we're being exposed. So let us cut off certain videos, certain pages, certain platforms, to where you can't hear the voice of the prophets. Okay? So you can do it. All right? Was that on that?
This is the last verse. All right, verse 4. Their line has gone out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. And them have he set a tabernacle for the sun.
Right. So it says the lines are going out through all the world. So everybody has heard this truth. Everybody's heard the gospel. Everybody's heard what's going to happen. Okay. You either, like I said, like you either see us on the streets teaching, or you either, see videos and you either take heed to it, being an Israelite, or you're a wicked Israelite, you don't take heed, or you're a heathen, all right, and you're definitely not going to take heed, and then you're going to be destroyed. Thought you had a cologne.
Just dress like a net.
I was like, it smelled like shit. Probably got cologne on and everything. And we're in the time of the end, man. Okay? You're going to see a lot more weird happenings before this society collapses. Just like Isaiah,
Old Spice.
okay? We're gonna okay? The word is going out. The gospel has been preached. Okay? So the only thing left for the elites to do is we have to stop it. Okay? But at this point it's too late. It's too late. If you were to shut down every GMS channel, okay? All right, or every Hebrew Israelite channel, okay? Guess what? You still got people that know that you still got Jake. We still know we Hebrew Israelites, okay? All right. We still have the words that's in the book. It wasn't, oh, you gonna ban the Bible?
Esau at this point would have to have a big ass Men in Black pen.
Right.
Just flash that bitch in the sky and just tell everybody. But you know what? You could do that. He could do that.
They could do that.
But you know what the scriptures say? If it be impossible, even the very elect,
That would
but
be
he would still fail.
Right, you still feel, yeah.
Hey, it so happened to be that all the elect 144, all their eyes blinked at that time. Everybody else
trip.
Oh shit! Oh, what's going on? We blinked.
All the elect,
Right when it
as
flashed.
soon as they flash, we just so happen to look down.
I had to tie my shoe. Everybody
You
else
can't
is
take this word away from the elect.
That's
Okay?
crazy.
You can't take the word away from the elect. The gospel's out there. The missiles are still going to come. All right? Leviathan, aka Godzilla, is still going to put out the ocean.
That guy just came out.
I got amazing.
Oh, and speaking of Godzilla, they finding evidence of the Loch Ness monster and all kind of creatures now.
And he gonna come put pressure on Esau.
And they're gonna put pressure on your armies and the rest of the kaiju.
And they show you animals hate the shit out of white from the depth. He ain't never even seen an Edomite, but he already know. Come out and attack.
Damn.
That's it. That is
That's
it.
real, bro.
That's real. That's
Coming
real.
straight to America.
And that's real steel.
He ain't thinking about no Leviathan box. That's what killed Esau.
Shit, there's gonna be a Leviathan in Japan, in New York, in LA,
Tokyo.
you know.
Damn. But that's what you know what? That Leviathan, which is a sea monster. Why you devils think you're gonna be out or whatever, look, you know, part of the sea doing your war games and shit. Hey man, the Lord might summon up a sea monster and wrap around a goddamn Warcraft shit.
Big tentacle.
Big tentacle.
the Kraken.
Yep. So they show you that in their conspiracy theorists say that it was a sea monster that took down the Titanic.
Yeah. Conspiracy theories also say,
Believable.
all right, that's who lives in the Bermuda Triangle. Okay?
Believable.
Hey, but look, the word is out. Okay? The word is out. The word is going to manifest. Let's go to Matthew 24. All right? Matthew 24. 14. Yeah. That's a particular verse. We only got a couple minutes left, so I'm just,
All right, this is Matthew 24 and 14.
that's a new show, too. It's in the kingdom. Everybody hates that. Go ahead.
Matthew 24 and 14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations.
Hey, and this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world. The gospel of what kingdom? The kingdom of Israel. Like I said, even if Esau takes down our videos and pages or whatever, there's brothers and sisters out there that still know the Israelites. There's children that know the Israelites. Okay? Esau's going to have to come down on Jacob, you know, with his martial law. And that's when the standard of the Lord is going to be raised up against you. Okay? Read it again, not?
All right, this is Matthew 24 and 4. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations.
Right, a witness to all nations. We have a great cloud of witnesses. That's everybody that sees us out here teaching, watching these videos. Okay? Go ahead.
And then shall the end come.
And then shall the end come. We're at the end. We are at the end, man. Okay? We are at the end of this society. World War III is getting ready to kick off. Okay? All right? Okay? Tensions between the U.S. And Iran is getting heavier and heavier.
And Russia.
Okay? That ship, that U.S. ship that they collided with that Russian ship yesterday. Okay? And there's video footage of that on YouTube. That's not a conspiracy, that's fact. All right? So it's getting ramped up, man.
Oh, they just came out with information. Since you spoke about conspiracy, they just came out speaking about how the United States.
Matter of fact, I want to read the headline.
All right, come. All right, so like the scripture says, that then shall the end come. You know, it's really, to be honest, we out here because the Lord still got the spirit for us to come out here, you know, and the time is not by and by. Not just yet, but we're ever closer. Okay? You know, we're ever closer.
Yeah, this is because you know the whole thing is about the conspiracy thing that they're speaking out. But this is something big too. It says U.S. military assets used to attack Pentagon on 9/11. Video proof. It says it looks like the U.S. government has some explaining to do after video and photographic evidence has surfaced showing U.S. assets, including a large military plane and live warhead tipped cruise missiles, being used to attack the Pentagon on September 11, 2001.
Right, and you gotta remember back then, AOL was slow as hell to dial up internet. So they wasn't worried about
Live streams.
You know, live streams and things going viral and shit in seconds. So hey, we'll just use a fucking old tomahawk missile to build the Pentagon. We'll save the goddamn Arabs did. They wasn't worried about that.
Esau is a real nigga, man.
You know?
He's giving nigga excuses, man.
You know? Esau wasn't worried, you know, because they was because at that time they was like, look, we here. But like the scripture the brother read, the Most High disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that they cannot perform their enterprise.
Yeah,
so now you got headlines like that coming out. Okay? You know? Somebody found the black box, I guess. You know?
Yeah, the passports was in the plane.
See, that's why they want to keep playing on this conspiracy thing, because it's too much evidence that's being broadcasted, and it ain't like court, so to speak. Like if we were to go to Esau, and if it was something where they would try to try us for the information that we come out with, the content, and we could actually, like including these conspiracy theorists, these individuals that see all this evidence coming out, they would have to acquit them. Due to the fact that it's too much evidence.
Overwhelming evidence.
It's overwhelming evidence to declare all the wickedness that the so-called white man has already previously done in the past to show that we're living in now. That's why they ain't trying to hear no type of counterattacks or anything. They just want to say the conspiracy theorists don't want to hear nothing. We just want to shut y'all down.
And that shows you how defeated these people, these American people are. It's because there's no fight to it. Here it is, these good old Americans, they'll talk about their constitutional rights. But that act is an actual attack against your constitutional rights, to your right to freedom of speech. Who deemed who? You get what I'm trying to say? To say that's conspiracy. First of all, the word conspiracy just means right, or to hide, to be hidden. You know what I'm saying? It's not hidden no more. When it's this much information, like you were saying, man, with 9/11, man, there used to be a documentary, and it was like a 20-hour long documentary exposing every possible exposing everything to show you there was an inside job. You think that's up on YouTube no more?
You can't man, you can't find none of them videos no more unless you download them. You know what I'm saying? You can. And then as soon as you put that up, your whole channel getting shut down.
The power to your house getting cut off.
Right. Hey, you can fold this so-called white man's dollar and show them
All right.
Like, what the hell is this, man? So this is conspiracy. I made this shit up.
Nah, man. No, that's a fake dollar. Give me another one.
Yeah,
Esau is
Man, you've been caught.
that shows you the pride of this devil, man.
Esau, you've been caught red-handed.
And I got
And you've been
it wasn't me.
the scripture say tickle, meaning your father.
Yep.
Your kingdom has been numbered and you've been found wanting.
Damn, Esau.
That's it.
Big dum-dum.
Yeah, read that real quick. Then give me 1 Corinthians 7:29.
This is Obadiah 1:6. How are the things of Esau searched out?
Yep.
How are his hidden things sought up?
Oh, just go on YouTube. That's how it is. Google it. That's the answer. Google it. Go to Google. You find it easy now. Shit, Facebook. Shit. Niggas sharing Illuminati videos.
Retweets.
Taking the retweets. Google it. Memes. God damn. Esau's whole conspiracy elite agenda is a meme. Now,
Exposed
on the
man.
internet. You seen this meme? Illuminati meme? No?
That's all it takes, too.
Yeah, back then it was so hard to look up somebody's profile. See, since this internet been created, everybody's shit is basically being shown, man. Especially these devils, because you got individuals that follow them and they go through
all that information. And they present it, man. All these politicians are being shown to be homosexuals. All that one dude who got caught doing coke, that one politician, he had all kind of blow on his nose or whatever.
He resigned?
I think he
Bill
resigned.
Christie from New Jersey, he was one of them guys that had resigned. I think it was Chris Christie. Prostitution, cocaine.
Yeah, prostitution, cocaine. He saw favorite combination.
Yeah. Booze, coke, and whores.
Is it really 1 Corinthians 7:29?
All right, this is 1 Corinthians 7:29. But this I say, brethren, the time is short.
Yep.
It remaineth that both they that have wives be as though they had none.
Uh-huh.
Verse 30, and they that weep as though they wept not, and they that rejoice as though they rejoice not, and they that buy as thou they possess not. Verse 31, and they that use this world as not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passeth away.
Right, so hey, the way we used to push this word and have it coming out, like how we come out now is about to pass away. The way these people shopping and driving and whatever, you know, Uber everywhere, that's about to be, you know, that's it. Okay, we're coming to a time where either you got this truth or you don't have the truth. Okay? And like I said, the gospel has been preached and Esau's mad. Okay? Big mad.
Man.
So you mad. Mad. All right? I ain't never ever seen. Hey, but guess what? How about me? Our Shah's gonna protect the elect. That's right. All right. So with that, we're gonna give our praise, glory, and honors to
Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahushua Ba'Shem Rakakadash.
double honors to the apostles, the elders, and the rest of the brethren, the great millstone, the rest of the hopeful elect. Shalom.
Shalom.